think it is not as effective, but it's still effective. So it could serve as a good alternative. But the story, Joey, I really like China. Assassino. China. Get it, Donald. Mounjarno's inclusion in China's National Reimbursement Drug List, NRDL for short, that drove non-U.S. revenue up by 81%, as now covered by the national drug provider there. That gives Lilly basically state-sanctioned, in my opinion, monopoly on these higher volume weight loss in the world's second largest economy. You got to love that. You get the nod from the Chinese regulator, and you're very overtly an American company without any strings being pulled by President Trump.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Fundeo.
Fundeo.
Yeah. No, in all seriousness, guys, sales in Eli Lilly rose 79%. Overall, 56%, 19.8 billion. Street was looking around 17.8 billion. So, I mean, I think the next thing is the pill. A lot of people are not going to want to continuously inject themselves, and I think this is going to be a big step. So Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly releasing both of these pills. So there it is.
Some freaking out over that.
He's going, man. Yeah. We're going to send it off because there's got a lot. He's going to want to talk a lot. But what he has going on, he's in Marvell, he's in Meta, he's in the TQs. So
he's in the entire market.
It's tough, man. He has to get it out. So we'll send it over to the boys, and we'll see what Neil and Sean were. Fantastic stuff. I hope everyone's had a fantastic day. And there we go. The big name's starting to recover. All-time high once again in AMD, Advanced Money Duplicator.
Google all-time highs. Peace.
There.
Yeah.
Back. Yeah, the market is storming back. Well, I guess they were good earnings after all, everybody.
No, they were pretty bad for Meta here, but
the numbers were good.
We just put this on a half hour ago, and it's $8. I mean, this just falls right into VWAP, and this is what we're talking about, man. You know, understand your strategies. This is the only thing. I just messaged Joe right now, and I was like, the only thing I learned today, and I learn it every day, is you got to be more patient with your trades, right? Because right into here, we have Marvell is $8 in the money, but we took this at $9.30. Right? Okay, fine. This one we just took, you know, so, you know, sometimes you got to be patient. You got to wait for your opportunities. There it goes, man. We're also $3 in on the Qs as that just ticks up to the highs as well. We're still in there. So we're going, man. We are rocking and we are rolling right now. You coming back to $19. This trade was doable. We were talking about it on the stream. There it goes, man. It's a monster there for Meta, back to the upside right here. This is what I was talking about learning early. You know, we liked Amazon, but it just kept on falling and falling and falling and falling until eventually we just stopped out at that low right there. So stopped out. Wish we still had that one too. Then we'd really be cruising. But here we go, man. Meta now for the win. And yeah, we were buried early, and now we are alive. So here we go, man. Absolute monster there. It's going to be, Neil, $10 right there now on Meta in just under 1 hour right there. So yeah, Meta getting going right there. So yeah, we come back very excited. A good way to end the month off. It's April the 30th. Time to almost push send on the taxes, and then we'll get ready to go on that one. But here we go, man.
Yeah, it's the end of, well, remember, it is end of the month, right? Beginning of a new quarter, but end of the month. Hopefully the new quarter is treating everybody well. The last one was good. Going to end this month on a positive note. No questions asked about it. But you know what? Like you said, patience for sure. I like VWAP for silver. I just took it out at the high of the day. So this one, this afternoon we'll look to buy dips. Yesterday I actually thought this was a short most of the day. What a difference a day makes. The US dollar is a little bit weaker. The only new position, well, it is new, but it was the same thing at basically the same area that we had it before, and that's going to be NVIDIA when we left you guys. And it couldn't get to VWAP this time. If it fails again at 202 area, then I don't mind getting it out if it can't get all the way to the volume weighted average price. But the new thing that I traded was, I don't know why SMCI was strong today, but at some point it's like, okay, well, let's look for a long. It had a, I don't know, pennant, whatever the heck you want to call that, like declining lows and into a flat bottom. It broke the wedge to the upside. Still sitting in that to see if it wants to continue to go. And there was a ridiculous move in nat gas when the market, like, I don't know, oil was going the other direction and there was a parabolic move in nat gas. It was just sitting in the reversion there. Basically have this one. It can't get past about 13 even. So I might trail out of this. It went halfway to VWAP. So okay, but would have liked to see it go a little bit further. But for now, I'll be watching this NVIDIA. It's been a laggard. So this is one of those take the wins that you can get. Like ultimately, if stopped out there, and then the last couple have been good. But if we're failing at that $0.50, I'm probably just going to bank it. Like you have to know when to get in and when to get out. And that's been the difference today. Now, we talk about being patient, but get out when it's not good, get back in when it is. If it's not as strong as you would like it to be, you can't will it to move further than it wants to move. And I tried this stock above here at 202 and it wouldn't go. NVIDIA's been a dog. It's only 4. Like you take the wins that you can get and don't be upset.
All right, 205 right here. Yeah, welcome, guys. I don't know. We're just doing what we're doing over here. Let's just look at the broader market quickly as we get a chance. The NASDAQ now just an absolute beast, right? Up 1%. There goes the ES up 1% as well. I mean, nothing is holding this market down. Another great day to check the old account up now. And Google really leading the way. Google, I was feeling some kind of ways because I took Meta. Now, obviously, Meta's $9 in the money, and I don't feel any kind of ways anymore. But I was thinking, like, I was looking at Google, and when Meta wasn't going there, I thought to myself, maybe I should have just stuck with the beast, right? I should have stuck with the one that was up the most, traded Google, off of this low. So that was another opportunity that I could have put on there at those levels. But as you can see, that would have still been a nice little $3 move upside. But I think it's just looking at, what Meta's been doing right here. We're starting to pull back just a little bit. I think we can just offer out another piece right now. We just tried 40s and we missed it. Now we'll see if it, we're there again. Oh no, hopefully it comes back up and gives us a little bit more out. We only have 15% left of what we had down here. So there we go, I got it. So a good move there for Meta. We'll watch to see what happens the rest of the day right here, right now. Again, hit the like, hit the subscribe. We talk about how a weak US dollar definitely helps out. What's up, Well Simple? A weak US dollar helps these NASDAQ names fly. And as you can see right now, the US dollar should be weak down there to the downside as we look to take out 98 again. So here we go, man. If you're looking for winning trades, we've got them. That is for sure right now on board. And it's just about, being patient, trading what you're trading. We came back here and just found this with Meta, was looking for an opportunity at VWAP, and it came in. So that was we first took a little bit of a piece there at 608, fell back into VWAP. And the reason why we talk about this is because this is what you guys are looking for, trading strategies, profitable wins, and that's just something there. We got a lot out basically for like $2 or $3 here around 610, and then we just let it extend out. So I think we can hold this now basically until the close. We'll see if we can get going. I mean, if anything, 610 is where the 50-period moving average is. We only have 15% left or so. So, if you're too late to the Google party, yeah, you might have missed it. So good call there on the chat. We're going to keep refreshing our board so we can look for more winners for you. Like I said, I've only traded 4 names now, but and they're all the earnings names except for Marvell and the futures, of course, we traded. But look at this board. I mean, it's just boom, 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 boom. I mean, if anything, today it would be an NVIDIA kind of day to maybe pick up in your own account, down 4%. I definitely like that one. But oh boy, it's Eli Lilly today, up 10%. That's an absolute monster, still going higher. SanDisk, we'll check out that too when we get back. We got to go pay some bills because these trades don't do that.
We're seeing some updates out of Origenics, ticker OGEN on the NYSE American. The company's now activated its Phase 2A clinical trial in Australia, with its first site fully operational and patient dosing expected next. They're developing ONP-002, an intranasal treatment targeting concussion and mild traumatic brain injury, an area where there are currently no FDA-approved therapies. Alongside that, Origenics spent the past year strengthening its balance sheet, raising capital, resolving liabilities, and restoring exchange compliance. The focus now shifts to execution. With clinical progress underway and additional CNS assets under evaluation, that is OGEN on the NYSE American, or as I like to call it the Amex, because bit of an old head for sure. I just got an idea for a poll based on something that was said, but I want to give an update. Through the stop at break even on Boyle, half a reversion is better than no reversion at all, so you'll take it. This one was weird. Well, we had nat gas numbers this morning, I suppose, right? And this was already going and then caught a bit of a bid after that, even though there's no direct correlation between oil and nat gas, but oftentimes at some point they'll follow each other. But I don't think I jump back into this, barring something insane. which could happen.
Nice.
Just going to throw this up to show you what I'm getting at. It never really broke the all-day trend. The plan of action was make sure you scalp to there and then try to get it to VWAP. If it eventually breaks the all-day trend later in the session, then I will go into another short. Just about waiting for that opportunity. When you get it, sort of pounce, and ideally, that'll work out for you. But there could be some window dressing at the end of the month because, hey, 1/3 of the, well, end of the month always, the end of the first quarter, end of the first month in the first quarter, and you just, yeah, I want to see what's going on with traders because I think there's a lot of traders that have been like, I haven't been trading much. This is a weird market. I've heard some say, I think Joe's expressed this sentiment a few times, that I don't like when we're moving around because of oil. I like trading without that sort of backdrop and all the news base. So 1/3 of the year is gone. 1, 2, or 3. How you been? You green, red, or are you not trading? And I count that as if you're trading like 10% of what you normally would, then like throw up the 3 for not trading. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people do not like it when you have all of this external headline-driven back and forth going around and you have too much of a floppy market. So throw them in there, we'll start the pattern up there, and we'll see how everyone's been doing to start the year.
I mean, in my opinion, you just went through one of the best trading months potentially of all time. I mean, April there was an absolute, I mean, look at this month. That's the low rate. I mean, so if you hit 3, I'm sorry, but right there, 560, right there, up to 660.
I'll leave people the option.
Like,
I'm not saying.
Oh, no, whatever they want to do. I'm just saying, like,
say.
I mean, I've been seeing some of the numbers here, and you know, I'll just speak for myself, but like right there, this is 1 month where the NASDAQ absolutely puts in the work, and then you've had such crazy moves, like, and there've been momentum moves too, right? Like with SanDisk and Micron and Google and just going long everything. So, I mean, it depends if you're a short only. We talked about some of you guys that are in the chat that looking short. That's going to be a little bit of a problem for you. But even on a day like today, right? Like we said, it was a little bit of a rough start, that's for sure. But patience, you know, gives you some of these monster moves right back in again. But I love the poll. I hope everybody does have a good month. And if they haven't, you still got 2 hours. See how that wraps up. And then tonight we've got Apple coming through as well. So I think we're staying late for Apple. So that should be a lot of fun there. I'm sure Fabian has.
SanDisk is running.
Yeah, SanDisk is amazing.
SNDK, which is the big one. It's not, look, Apple's a big deal, but SNDK is going to move more than Apple by an absolute long shot. There was somebody else we got. We got Reddit after the bell. Reddit's going to move more than Apple. So, like, actually, outside of those two, those are the 3 ones that I'm aware of that are the big ones.
Yeah, it's going to be
I don't actually own any Reddit. I've never owned Reddit.
You guys are lucky that we're doing the after show today, in my opinion. We're pretty lucky with Eli Lilly. We talked about that right now. Obi, we've got you, man. We've got you in our sights right now, Obi. So here we go. We've got Mateo in there. Nobody knows who Mateo is, but he's a great guy. So we've got Obi there up 26%. I passed Adara. I don't know how long that will last. As we got Eli Lilly up that 10% today. Adara, Randy right there with some oil. Joe sticking around in the green down here. Neil, we've already talked about some of the positions there, but this is why Eli Lilly's still down in its Marvell's world for me there. And of course, Big Bear AI, I mean, we're not long at the price that's here, but it doesn't really matter. We all made the picks knowing what it was, and Big Bear AI there, $6.31 needs to get going to the upside. They're reporting in just a couple days, but yeah, we're gonna do this again in June. We'll end these trades June 30th. We'll pick it up again early July, and we'll do another 6 months. And maybe we can even do quarterly there again, but this just shows you sort of the dramatic movements that we can have here in the market. And like I was saying about what kind of a month it was this month, but I do agree with you guys, and especially when you were saying that, was Joe was mentioning, it's tough to trade when you have USO moving around, but USO is just a leading indicator. So if you're gonna use that and you're a news-driven trader, a momentum trader, things like that, obviously this is probably a month for you. So yeah, we'll just continue to watch out here and see what winds up happening in the rest of this market today. Looks like the NASDAQ will close out. It might be one of the best months, I don't want to say ever for the NASDAQ, but I mean, I was going to say up 20-something% this month. Please, Adara. Yeah, so Adara, we can ask her. She's not back there right now.
She's not back.
She's eating.
There's no new news right now. There's no new news.
No. There's nothing to do with that. Someone said, what are you trading? Okay, so I can tell you, Adara today traded CAT, CVNA, LLY, and Meta. So some good ones there today.
All-time high, 10% for Caterpillar.
Yeah, good, man. Yeah, Caterpillar, all these names, man, starting to really run. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I think it's been such a fantastic month. There's
no
so
question if you're
many
long-term account.
Oh, yeah, or
Unless
even just no matter what style of trading you're doing.
all short.
Unless, exactly. So I think it's...
Which I don't imagine there's anybody, well, I shouldn't speculate. I don't actually know anybody that, because even if you trade all short, like, wouldn't you then be like net long and all your long-term stuff anyways? So like, how bad would it really be if everything's appreciating for you? Like, you almost couldn't go wrong today. Eventually, like, there's not much. Like, I was looking over at ye old, like, my quote board, and again, my quote board doesn't really mean anything because it's just the names that I happen to have on a daily basis. Okay, so oil is going to be down. NVIDIA's battle back. I granted you that one's weak, and Amazon's going to be down. Micron and Intel are battling. Very close to getting into green here. Softy, from the open, Softy almost up. There was a news story for the cybersecurity name, so that's why PanW hasn't come all the way back yet. But even the things that are bad are close enough to flat. And considering how, I guess I could have just reversed that. But if you look at this, like ARM is up 5.
Okay.
AMD is up 5. ARM's up 5%. Oh, wow. ARM's back at 215. Well, I guess that dip isn't pulling back into the prior high. See, it doesn't even pull back into the prior high, that 180.
That was one of the ones we wanted to. Oh.
I guess it's not. I guess it's closer to 190. But you know what? It didn't go there anyway. So what is strong stays ridiculously strong, apparently. Although AMD just stands out like an absolute sore thumb. Look at this double top on advanced money. What do we call it? Duplicator. That's when it's good, it's advanced money duplicator. When it's bad, it's advanced money destroyer. So it's been the duplicator several times. It's almost a double up. Almost. It's almost a double up from that consolidation bottom. This is why I harp on NVIDIA, though. Like, if you want to gripe about something, you got to gripe about NVIDIA. NVIDIA, look at this heavy pullback today. It just hasn't been the one. You know, there's been scalp opportunities in it, but there's no follow-through. If this can get through VWAP, all bets are off. If we're doing this without NVIDIA right now, that's the thing.
Yeah. I mean, we're
the
doing
market. I mean, the market.
Yeah, the market. I mean, we got a bunch of big names going right here. We got Meta right now, $12 in. We've got the Qs continue to go higher. Let's check in on the other earnings name here. Microsoft, 405. So Microsoft's going as well. I mean, look, this looks like it wants to take down VWAP, right? This is a different trade for me because you're just taking out VWAP to the upside, so you sort of got to punch through it. The difference with the Meta trade for me is, and this is going to be. Like, we'll make the same, actually, we'll make more on Meta than we will even on Marvell. But right there, because Marvell we took really early, so we actually put on a little bit more shares here with Meta. And plus, Meta's also $11, Marvell's $7. So it's just, this was different because we had already bounced there off VWAP. So we had held VWAP here, we had held it there. So I just trusted it, right? I mean, you got to trust the strategies. And upside right there, we gave a big shout out to our good friend Brian Shannon, who has been, a friend of mine now for, I don't know, almost a decade at least. And we've gone back and forth. And you guys know when we were doing the podcast and everything, we had him on, and we've had him on many times on the show, all about VWAP and everything. And was trading VWAP even before I met the guy. So, but there it goes, man, 618 upside. So that was a good one. DraftKings keeps on coming up here. Let's see what's going on with DraftKings. We want to make sure that we do understand that there's more earnings tonight, right? So looking at Apple at the end of the day, looking at SanDisk, you had mentioned there. I really like Reddit, and I think Reddit is a name that we got to look at.
Whatever happened to the Discord IPO? Speaking of Reddit.
Discord, they didn't go. I mean, Microsoft tried to buy them on the dirt cheap. I remember my kid was like, yo, you got to grab that. Okay, here's Eli Lilly's, man. I mean, Manjaro, Zepbound, just look at the extension to the upside there for Manjaro. Zepbound is Eli Lilly's as well? Yeah, I guess so, right? So it's Manjaro that's going up. So I don't even know what the difference is. Zepbound, type 2 diabetes. Okay, so Manjaro's the diabetes. And that's nice that that's going up because you'd rather see people, taking it for medical reasons rather than, weight loss is obviously good as well, but there goes Zepbound. So that's taken a little lower. It's Manjaro that's going to the upside there, helping out Eli Lilly up that 10% right there. Get ready for Reddit. Is this the dude that... Yeah, this is the guy that, what's her name? Venus Williams is married to?
No.
Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, she's married to some rich dude on Reddit as well. But here we go, man. The 2026 revenue outlook, good one, man, versus the analyst estimates. So they are looking to get going here on the guide, obviously a little higher. So not trying to sandbag this quarter. We'll see if that winds up working out here. 70% year over year for Reddit. You can, of course, go get all of this information right now. There's CrowdStrike is tonight, maybe? I don't know if that's true. No, that's right. CrowdStrike was a story today.
It was news.
About CrowdStrike, so that's not anything to do with that. Okay, Apple. Apple tonight is going to be an absolute monster. We did hear a big number from the services side. If you guys joined us last night with Google had a huge services number. Apple should be able to beat that. And so I would think that if it's hot for Google, obviously not the same company, but I think services could start kicking around a little bit. So we'll see if Apple can start to drum up some more business on the services side. iPhone, I mean, we hear that's a pretty hot one. We'll wait to hear about what's going on with the Flip, right? I mean, if they can bring that to market a little bit earlier, that could help it go. Where is the earnings calendar? That's kind of what I'm looking for right here tonight. Oh, God, way far down. Here it is right here. All right, so here we go. Tonight, RIVN. Randy's here. Randy's sending me more cars right
Roblox.
now.
That was
Roblox. The EX60 Volvo right there, starting at, 87,000 right there. I better put some more shares on there. So we're going to look at that for the Volvo.
But
anyways,
that's
no, $87,000. Okay.
For the Volvo, that's not.
I must not make as much money here. AMZN there, First Solar, IoT. That's Riot, sorry. I love IoT, by the way. Samsara, that's not tonight. And if it is, maybe. But yeah, there's a couple of good names tonight, right? Western Digital has been a monster. SanDisk, there's your Reddit right there. Apple, we've got to wait till 4:30. Apple there, so we'll stay late with you guys. AMZN, RIVN, they're all here right now. We'll see if Riot can reinvent themselves here. Blockchain name, obviously not super hot these days. We'll check that all out. But for those of you that are, of course, interested in Adara's quite amazing work, you can go check that out right now. And it's just, we can't say enough about that stuff because no matter what you're looking for, like I just went there. She retweeted her CrowdStrike stuff. Like, so anything that you're looking for a good read, go over there and check that out. Reddit, 50-period moving average, man. I mean, I've really liked Reddit. I've liked it for a while. I've never bought it. Maybe we can see what happens on the quarter. Today, a lot of the moves were fine. Like, you started off with Google. I was going to say, like, you start off with Google being real hot, up 7 or 8%, but then it comes back down and is down only 5.5% or so. Up 5.5%, and then it just absolutely takes off. So, okay, Meta's pulling back, which is fine by me. We topped it out. We talked about only having a 15% left. We now have 9% left, just under 10. I don't know if it's 9 exactly, but $618 right now. But breaking through the 25-period moving average, we should have had an out. We should have had another out there. For sure. But anyways, you look at these things long enough, you drive yourself crazy. So I will put another offer here at 47. Just join that line. See if we can get a fill here as Meta. One more fill as we should have got one earlier. And then we're going to watch out. There it is. We're going to watch out for 613 now on the breakdown. Maybe we will break dance our way out of that trade if it does break 613. But yeah, man, all aboard right now today. Just too many shares too early on Amazon. That's all.
There's no all aboard on Roblox tonight, then there is no bottom yet.
Oh, no, I don't know about Roblox.
Well, if this isn't the bottom on the weekly chart, then yuck. You just feel like it's been holding for the last month and a half. You've been able to hold this $50 level. And that's where the ramp job started. If you go all the way back to the April lows, like the tantrum lows, it held really nicely. If they can't do it here, then I don't know where the bottom's going to be, 25, 30 bucks. So this is one I've been waiting for. My daughter loves it. Constantly. And her friends too. Like it's like, okay, can you message so-and-so? Because like they don't ever message so-and-so's mom or dad and get them on Roblox so we can go into the same game. And it's like, it's crazy. Like, and all of the kids do it. And they all spend their parents' money. So it seems like there could be there. I understand the software thing and they're in trouble, but at some point it goes a little bit too far. As for what's next for me, I was about to say a little drawback into where we got into SMCI, and then maybe if it could break the wedge again, then I would reload it on the way up as opposed to the way down. But it's still sliding back and backing off a little bit. You do have USO trying to pump higher. I see a lot of people in the chat talking about BBAI. Okay, that's like 7 times I've seen BBAI.
Never heard of it.
I guess that's, I mean, it's moving. The volume's not very big, but it's trying to fill in the gap.
Travolta thing, what was that sound?
Travolta, what was
I
it?
hit the
Hit
Travolta
that again?
No, because I thought it was. I have it marked as Travolta, so it must have been.
Travolta's.
Yeah, I was trying to do the bear here. I was trying to do this
Yeah,
because you
that's
mentioned
that thing.
Big Bear. Yeah, the Travolta. This guy's
that's
gone.
the wrong bear
Big
one.
Yeah. No,
Why do you like that bear?
I don't. Here's the bear. I was trying to switch
Yeah, that's
pages
so much
to get to
better.
this bear, and I hit and I hit the Travolta. But yeah, no, Big Bear. I mean, a good little look there. We just talked about that. I mean. This name just is ebbs and flows, man. I mean, we're just hoping that this one can come out with an EPS of greater than 0. We've already showed sort of the trajectory of Big Bear AI, and we'll do it again right now. We'll go over here into details. We'll type in BBAI, and then we'll see when they're reporting 5 days, May the 5th. So May the 4th be with you, and then hopefully May the 5th be profitable. And then it's the short flow rate here of 25%. That's got me interested in it. We're long rate here for $4 and change. So hopefully that can work out for us on Big Bear AI. And then here's the reason why. Really, I mean, first of all, I like the security aspect of it. I already talked about this with FIFA coming and everything going on, traveling in the summer months. These guys provide some of the thermal scanners and stuff like that at the airports or at borders and just whatever. Some companies use them, shipping companies using them as well. But right here, this is the thing that's got me going. So if we just zoom down in here and you see the EPS right here, it goes very, very bad, very, very bad. If that goes positive, then we could see potentially a fly here with Big Bear AI. So we're going to wait to see if that happens. And I mean, look, man, if that number comes EPS minus 5 cents or worse, then yeah, you will probably see this name cruise back into some of these lows again. But you know, technically speaking, I think it's just a shot in the dark. We talked about that. I liked it at the beginning of the year, so I'm fine. But we took it there on the board that you guys see, and I would buy it back down here at $3, but we have to now. It's too late. We didn't do any buying at all. We had bought earlier when we saw this thing moon right into here, and then it came right into this move here. We bought it on the way back down, giving us that average price of $4, and then cleared out about half or 60% of our trade on the way back up there. We actually got $8.50. We didn't do anything this next time as it went because we were thinking, you know, maybe we had it, and then it just fell right back in. So yeah, hopefully when you get a little bit of luck behind us with Big Bear AI, and we can trade that on May the 5th and or before and see if it wants to break through. The trade I had as the #1 trade on the sticky note today would have been amazing, but we don't have it again, of course, because we're just looking elsewhere and we shouldn't have been. And here's what we're talking about right there. SoFi break 16. It was easy, right? I mean, it opens the day down underneath 16. That's why we got stuck in Amazon, because 265 did not hold, and we put some shares in there. Look, we're here to make money, so I mean, you know, when you get hit, you get hit. But there's SoFi. Here's the break. So see, we open up the day underneath. We don't even get close to $16. There's the break of 16 right here, and then boom, up to 1640, and just trying to hover around. Now you got view up at 16. So yeah, man, I like this play here for SoFi, possibly looking at a 16 hold. So if you're into that one, we'll do that. But yeah, some halts. Okay, you're at SLV, AIOS. I want to look at some minor ones here just in case. Okay, this one's only done 3,000 shares, so that's not it.
What?
CT,
That's halted on 3,000 shares?
yeah, it must have just, I don't know. It looks like it gapped there. I don't know what the news was there. We can check that out.
There's no way that hasn't.
And then this one, Cheetah. I think we heard something about Cheetah the last couple of days. Oh. That halted again, maybe a little bit.
This kind of,
you know something about this stock?
No. This is, every time I think, if you say Cheetah,
yeah.
I think about, remember when Ben Johnson was hawking that energy drink?
Was that Cheetah Energy?
Yeah,
and he held it up. Yeah,
Cheetah.
Yeah. Oh,
Ben
yeah,
Johnson's
because he was
the Canadian
cheating.
guy who
was set up and framed.
Well, first of all, when he won the 100 meters and lost his gold medal, there was 8 people in the final. Like 6 of them were all roided up, and we now know that.
And one of them cannot be Carl Lewis, of course.
Lewis was. One of the Americans wasn't, and the Brazilian guy allegedly was not. So those were the 2 clean guys in the race. But anyways, there's a movie coming. There's a new. It looks like made for TV.
Oh yeah. That's right. I did see that. I saw that one.
Right. It's they're making a movie.
100% they are.
Here. I have a personal affinity for it because the other Canadian in that race, who also got caught, rest in peace, Desai Williams. Oh, I might have missed his short. He was a family friend. He married into one of my dad's like best friend's family. So like I got to meet him. He came to my birthday party as a kid. It was wild. This Olympian comes to my birthday party, and then months later, it's like they're all in this big, massive. It was a huge scandal here.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I know that guy.
Desai Williams. He's a really good dude. But you know what? They got caught. Everyone else in sprinting was doing it, and the Canadians got caught, and the Canadians held their athletes accountable, which is very different from what everybody else did. That's how we roll. You can say what you want about it, whether it was smart or so stupid. I would
go with stupid.
You know what?
I mean, you rob the guy of a gold medal, and it's just like, if everybody else is cheating, join the club, right?
You know
I mean, do we hate Mark McGuire? Do we hate Barry Bonds and all that? I mean, these guys are juiced up, and obviously, if there was some sort of testing at that time, it would have been something else.
The irony?
What's up with Sammy Sosa, man? His neck got bigger than his head.
Well, Bonds' head has shrunk a lot. Our coach, just the last thing I'll say about this, the reason why the Canadian coach was like, we're so sure that Ben Singh was spiked, what they caught him for was not the drug that the Canadian sprinters were using. It's the craziest thing. He's like, it's not, but that's not what I'm giving him. So how could he have tested positive for it? That's the whole controversy behind it, it's a fascinating story, Carl Lewis. So I did go for it's not a reload, but it's like a second break on SMCI. So there's your initial break. It's not as long of a downward trend, but we'll take it anyways and just sort of roll what we had before into a new stop, which will be, I mean, it's relatively tight. We have a little bit less range. It's 230. You're not going to be moving around quite as much, I don't think. I don't love the fact that USO is coming back up, though. USO is cranking back higher. It hasn't affected the market yet, but worth keeping an eye on. Let's go to Adara.
Yeah, only news I have here that's kind of related here to USO would be Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent going on X saying that Iran's currency has hit an all-time low thanks to epic fury. So, I mean, yeah, that Iran currency comment, all I have. Keep an eye, though, in Diageo to the upside. President Trump reportedly announcing that he'll be removing tariffs and restrictions on Scottish whiskey imports. Now, DEO, this is a spirits manufacturer and company. Primarily, I know they own the likes of Ciroc. Apparently, they must own some Scottish whiskey names as well, because DEO to the upside on reports President Trump's going to be removing tariffs and restrictions on imports of Scottish whiskey. Back to you.
Problem that people aren't drinking as much. Isn't that like a really big thing that's weighing on?
Yeah. I mean, they've seen just Constellation brands and whatnot, some different Budweiser, stuff like that.
And then there's talk of the GLPs being effective at curbing some addictive behaviors, or like that would weigh poorly. I don't know. I can't say firsthand. I was way too young. I don't know too many in like that 20 to 30 range. Like, is it really something that's going to be a long-term hang on some of these stocks? Because they look terrible. I'm talking like Diageo is terrible. Like, it's one of the worst looking charts we're going to find. Like, it is channeled down in a way that you don't see this. Like, you'll see up moves that are this, like, just obvious and linear, but to see a downward move like that is a little bit intense. So that kind of is what it is. Crude should be closing right about now, but it's closing near the highs. But again, the only new thing I'm in is SMCI, and I think I should have been less bullish on silver and probably shorted this trend break. I might get a second crack at this. If I do, like, that's a pretty clean trend break. I don't know if it gets back up to 66.7. If it does, then maybe I'll look to grab the short off that prior high and play it into VWAP for the afternoon. I'd rather this does not head back lower, because I think that would mean that maybe the market's pulling back, or we're getting too much strength in oil futures, or the dollar is moving in the wrong direction.
Yeah, we're just chilling out here, looking for more opportunities, of course, as we always do. Just looking for some scanners. I mean, we've got okay. Let's check out some Oracle right now, just to see what's going on there with Oracle. Okay, the day high looks like, or at least range high break right now on Oracle. There you go. You're touching. This is why it came up though on the scanner. Just looking at this break here of your 200 period moving average right there on Oracle. We'll see if that can get going right there back up to the upside again. 163 and change. range for ORCL. Yeah, good battle back from the bottom there. Still down a little bit today. Down 1% is Oracle. Check out on Eli Lilly here. Again, a really super strong name, obviously today up 10%. Look at this 200 period moving average. You take a look at that. Hasn't even seen it yet all day. If you're talking about trading something with momentum, you might want to look at Eli Lilly right here. But it may lose this shelf here and break down a little bit. I think we could actually float back into 935. If that does happen, I think that's going to be a good long. I mean, retesting, and then you could maybe get out 930. Well, I mean, if it breaks that, what's the spread like here? 40, 50 cents probably opens up a little bit more on a break. So yeah, maybe we'll have to be careful about what we do, but that's 935 right there on Eli Lilly. Maybe, yeah, that'd be 931, $4. Then we'll have to go all the way back up to the upside. I don't know for Eli Lilly. You know, if you're going to do something like that, I don't necessarily want to short it unless it comes back to 941, which it might do. And then you're just shorting a strong name where the NASDAQ is already telling you the short is not the play. So I'm not going to go short that play, actually, after all. Oh, here we go, man. Still short. Okay.
Mint chocolate chip.
Yeah, you better maybe eat that mint
But
chocolate
that's
chip here.
MSTR, right?
Yeah, 76.
JKL, that's, oh, never
Yeah, he was silver, and he was silver short, I believe, and MSTR short. So what is MSTR looking like?
Well, I mean, if you've been short MSTR for a week, it's basically pulled back to yesterday's open. That's the open. So it's back to yesterday's open, so it's pulled back a day. For the last week, it's still seemingly holding the downward trend. I could draw that for you if you really wanted, but I think we all get the idea. SLV, I guess the same. I don't know. In my brain, it looks a little bit stronger. Like you had the false bottom, like there's support, there's like the false bottom, resistance, support. Then we gap up, and we've been holding like the prior, like not yesterday's close, but the close on, what day is it? Tuesday, like Tuesday's close, it just held that level and is breaking higher. But there's still a gap to be filled. Like there's work to be done here on SLV. Anyways, are you sure it was short SLV? Mm-hmm. Okay. First, why did I think that JKL was going long SLV? Maybe that was a couple.
Yeah, it was like the short.
Maybe that was
report.
that was before.
I think he switches all the time. So
we just got a super chat from Bill as well, but I don't see a message.
What's up, Bill?
To it. Bill,
well, what's Amazon doing now? Ugh.
It's going.
Yeah, damn it. Got stopped out of that one. That's all good, man. We're almost back to positive here.
I didn't see it.
On the day, actually, so it's all good.
Oh, yeah, well, there's no message. We'll just
Okay,
do this.
shout out to
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate the super chat. If you send a message, then we have this cool thing and we can hit a button and it shows up on the screen, and I don't have to drag this over here. Don't want to report you, that's for sure. Long Brady says RGTI, oops. Well, if that means Rigetti's not having a good day, everything can't be up. I mean, the thing about the quantum names is they still don't make money.
Ching, ching.
Right? No, short MSTR and short Qs now. So you're not short silver. Yeah, I didn't, for some reason I didn't think.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I mentioned the NASDAQ earlier today.
Yeah,
That's where
I
he's
didn't
like,
think it was
now
silver
he's worried.
short.
Now he's worried.
Rigetti's up 7%. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, Rigetti's nice.
Who was saying Rigetti and then there was like a negative?
Oh, I don't know.
Somebody
that's maybe not checking the screens out there. Yeah, look at this Amazon, man. We did get, okay, worth a 1K into SanDisk before earnings. Yes, I mean, just go long, I would say. Right into here for Amazon. I mean, it just kept on, bouncing until eventually it didn't, which was fine, man. We got it at 257.50. It goes as low as 256.20. So, we would have been stopped out of that anyways. But there goes Amazon right now going back into Greensville, a name that was up a bit early, pretty good actually. There's our 265 where we got run over right there. But yeah, we're just we're just trying to make everything back right now. And as I said, the early lesson was just believed in this too much. I thought we were going to bounce, and then just got hit there. Tried it again and got hit there, and then we don't have any. This is not really a hit. Just over and over and over again, and to eventually it was a little bit too much, and then we didn't. Although Meta has been a really good trade for us, we only made about a little bit more than half of what we lost on Amazon. So Amazon was a big one. So I'll be as honest with everybody. We talked about the way it's going. I'm going to be hopefully. Right now, I'm under half. Like everything is fine. We've made back almost 95% of what we were down, but we're still scraping together to try to get to Greensville. So we're almost there, man. And despite having all these big wins, we did exit out because we were sort of leaving our trades on there, but it was Amazon early, and then the TQs. We've made back on the TQs, but we're trying to go long the same time. Got hit there, got hit there, got hit there. So we'll be red on Amazon, red on the TQs, but then really green on Meta and Marvell, and all of that gets 2 for 4. Puts us basically flat here on the day. So I hope that some of you maybe avoided that Amazon trade, but that is what it is, man. Someone asked about a RIVN today. So
after the bell, right?
Yeah, they're going to come after the bell, and you guys wanted
That was not our. Oh yeah.
Wanted some key levels there for RIVN. I think we're always looking at even dollars. I mean, when the earnings is going to come out, Adair will put out very, very shortly the expected moves for RIVN. Yeah, there we go. She's literally about to post it. So yeah, I would say honestly, if you're going to trigger in to something, it's always better to wait. As I just told you, wait till 10 o'clock or something tomorrow, see what's going on. But if you did like RIVN here, I think their production in the R2 has started. It's going to be a successful one. I'm hoping that there's a lot of demand for it. I'm in that lineup as well. I've already got the reservation in there for that, but we know Canada's a little delayed, so we'll see what's going on. But 1450, would be the lows. I think if you get anything around there, you're probably doing well. And again, they're going to launch that new vehicle. So if that new vehicle comes and it's well received, which the reviews have been pretty positive on it, I think you can get that back to the upside. The market's sort of jonesing for an EV that can come in, under that $100,000 for an SUV type of car there, which has been expensive. Your only choices have really been Model Y. There's a few other ones now that have come out. We talked about the Equinox and whatnot, but we'll see what happens with the Rivian here coming in. So $14.50 to $15 for me would be something there for Rivian.
As long as as long as Rivian holds this little accumulation trend it's got, I think it's just fine. You go all the way back to 2024, every single one.
Speak of the devil, we were just talking about Rivian over here. Is there any more of those cookies?
Is that from the morning, or did you? That oatmeal raisin.
This guy's too much. Randy's been working the midnight shift over here. He's been.
I haven't had. We get pastry. A plate of pastries every single day.
Yes, we do.
I haven't had one of the cookies from that in 6 months.
Yep.
I've been it's difficult for me because I love oatmeal raisin cookies, but then when you're eating it in the afternoon like that, I'm feeling. I went for a walk today. I mean, that could justify eating a ridiculously large cookie.
I feel like your walk was 20 minutes, though.
It was not very long, but I'm trying to justify something that I shouldn't be. Yeah. I know what I was going to say about Rivian. As long as you hold higher lows, this could drop, and it's it doesn't matter. Accumulation, higher low, accumulation, higher low, accumulation, higher low, accumulation. Just keep on putting in higher lows. If that means there's no disasters happening, and you're hopefully done the worst of it. I'm not saying it does in Intel, but you can do worse. When you
I just put this up because we were just talking about it. Zen.
Look at
I mean, you and me both, man. I mean, anybody that sold Amazon before this moment right now sold too early. I mean, it's at the highs it's been at since the first 10 minutes. So boom to the downside right there for Amazon, and now really recovering. Oh boy, that could have been a big, huge trade. Those of you asking, I haven't seen Obi make a trade. I don't think he might have made one yesterday. He hasn't made one yet today, so I don't know anything that he's doing over there. But I do have Adair in the back.
Hi, Randy. I want to really quickly talk here. I don't want to kick Randy off here, but I want to talk about our implied earnings for tonight because this is an interesting one. Probably the most anticipated report widely here. Apple, they have the smallest expected move by far tonight of only 3.5%. AMZN's in second place here with a 4% expected move. If you get to the largest expected moves tonight, it's going to be Roblox at 14.2%, Reddit at 12.4%, and SanDisk at 9.4%. Those are the top three largest expected moves. Rivian in a close fourth place with a 9.1% expected move. So again, guys, Roblox, largest expected move. Apple, smallest expected move. If you're thinking, hey, where do I get all these expected moves right in front of me? You know where. It's X at TTV Research. Back to you.
I would never get Apple. That's funny.
Yeah, Apple's one over there. Oh, did Meta break? No, Meta goes up to 618. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was wondering if Apple broke right there. We were going to get out at 614 breakdown as well. Look at this man bringing us the cookies. I was going to say we could split one. Fabian, are we going to have that monitor tonight or what? My God. We're going to have that monitor there? And that hair is getting long, my God.
That's a lot.
Down to the waist. Fabian not feeling that. What are you doing with all of these
No,
cookies?
man, I wanted one cookie.
Here, why don't you take one and take another
not
one?
even
Take another one. Oh, Ramin's here. You go, Ramin. You're taking both? I don't know what the stockpile that Randy has. Oh, you took. Okay, good, perfect. Now we're all good.
Yeah, I only
Okay,
wanted
here we go.
one
Just
cookie.
We'll try to do.
Or
We'll try to do a half piece. We'll try to do a one piece. You guys watch One Piece over there? All right.
I've watched a bit of it. I tried to get. You mentioned it. Aaron would like it, so we watched a little bit. She's like, She's like ho humming it. I thought I liked the start of it.
Randy, where's the mic? I have to ask you some questions over here.
Okay, that's tasty.
Okay. All right. Randy, everybody.
Are we on?
Yeah. Yeah, you're on. I can hear you. Okay. Do you have a favorite cookie?
This one right here.
Oh, so oatmeal. This oatmeal raisin. Yeah, I like the oatmeal raisin. I like the chocolate macadamia
I
nuts.
was just say the white chocolate, not the dark chocolate, the white chocolate macadamia nuts.
That's.
My kids bake them at home.
Yeah.
They're yum.
Yeah, I think they crush these ones.
But this is.
This is good. These ones are pretty good.
Yeah.
There. What did you have the lunch day? Was that pork? I actually got the pork as well.
It was good.
That wasn't bad.
Onions and peppers and. It
was all right.
It was
a little dry, but
a little dry. Yeah.
Was that Joe that hit that over there?
Joe doesn't like the food.
So RIVN reports
Night. Yeah. So we were thinking there, we talked about that. You just sent me the EX60, is that what it was from Volvo there?
The Volvo EX60 is my new favorite electric thing. I haven't driven one yet.
No.
They're
Here it is here.
rather pretty. I don't know. Good range. They're kind of nifty.
I was going to say, but
What is the range?
coming in 500 is the range. This is coming in at 500 kilometers right there, so I don't know, miles.
330 miles.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe low.
Well built. They look nice. Gorgeous interiors. I don't know. I'm not knocking the R2, which I've sat in twice now. This is going to be a competitor to RJ, and RJ's going to have some competition.
But this is going in at 81, so that's what I was going to say. I mean, I said this to you before, and it's like this is coming in at 81 when we think the R2 is probably, I think I got the tech 68 or something like that.
With toys
and
that's
taxes,
and you're going to be in that neck of the woods anyway. So again,
I mean, pretty minimalistic here, right?
I'm expecting positivity from Rivian tonight. The R2 is not going to be on sale here for a while yet.
Right, I know. And you
So
were
by the
mentioning
fourth quarter, we should see, these are good cookies.
yeah, I mean, everyone's loving
We
these
should see
cookies over here.
some lift
People
in the stock price. But again, positivity here. But are they moving huge R2s out the door yet? No. They're in production. They're not selling a million of them yet. So give it time.
Randy, I'd like to offer you a job. Randy's automotive corner or something like that. We sit on the desk. You and Sharif go back and forth.
It's almost like
give
we've
Neil
done
and I a
this
break.
before.
I was going to be the Cookie Monster.
Okay, well, yeah, okay.
First of all, if we do that, we can do both.
Both.
We can do both. We've done this before. Back when we used to have the old setup, Randy would come in the afternoon, and especially during earnings season, and you do even a report on some of the EVs.
Some.
You'd say sometimes nice things about Ford if you had to. I'm gonna guess. I don't even want to ask you about Stellantis. They just reported. I know you absolutely can't stand them. No. But you know what? Paul
Not a
doesn't like.
Chrysler guy over there, Randy?
No, he hates Jeep, right?
I've owned Jeeps, and I'll never buy another one.
Well, Stellantis is, yuck.
Yeah.
5 points today. Did they report last night? They reported this week.
I'm trying to.
But it doesn't matter.
They've got a lot of things to figure out.
They don't
have a new
move now.
CEO, and he's got a plan. They need to execute on
That's
that
an
plan
ugly chart.
and make things happen.
Put up a good chart.
I was trying to find the
General
thing on
Motors is a little
Instagram
bit
when we went to go get those the brisket. I was trying to show the
Brisket?
brisket. The brisket reel. Remember you and I went up
Yes.
there and we got it, and
Yes.
I can't find it, but I can find. Here's Rand. Oh, darn it. I just had Randy, then I extended it out here. Where's Randy on here? Oh, well, I have no idea where it is. This is just wasting time at this point. There's my son, by the way, who's now big, like I said, bigger than you, Randy, I think, right now. Look how small he was here. Talking about a throwback. Oh, here's Obi and I as well. Anyways, Randy, I don't have you on. You're on here somewhere, but
That's okay.
it doesn't go in. This was one of the funniest ones ever, this little reel here. Maybe we can play that for everybody. This was Kevin O'Leary and stuff as a baby. And then there's me. Neil's coming. There's Neil as well. This was a hilarious one. Go check us out on our Instagrams and we'll be there. But I'm thinking we should do that soon. We are going to have a burger day, but I'm wondering if we do that brisket instead.
Well, we promised Sia we have to do a burger day. For someone who has never had a hamburger.
But Sia has confirmed.
Had a cheeseburger.
She misunderstood. She's had a burger before.
Yeah.
But it was a cheeseburger.
Which, I mean.
So now we have to get her. Now we have to get her a burger without cheese.
Well, it's not that big.
I'm with Adair. Adair, you want to do brisket instead?
I'm down for brisket. I mean, Randy and I have been saying for a while we want to do briskets and biscuits, like like the kind of Popeye style biscuit with a brisket. We're down for briskets and biscuits. I'm going to speak for Randy here because we just had this
Rob over here
conversation
likes
camera.
brisket.
Biscuits.
Oh, why are we stopping at brisket? We can get some ribs. We get them burnt ends.
Oh, me, get out of here.
Collard greens. Seriously, if you're gonna do
out.
barbecue,
I'll be right back.
What? If you're doing barbecue, you might as well go all the way. Brisket's great, but I want the whole. Give me that platter, man. Like, I will not visit the set. I do not visit the set without getting barbecue at least once. 100%. You cannot. You go to the USL, you got to make sure you get some. And I'll always judge a place like the sauce that matters, but let me know how it goes with your slaw. Got them good beans, and then we're good to go. And then I know you're a legit joint. Back to the market. We're back at the highs. The only thing I did new was like the reload in SMCI, and then the scout. It's the same trade as before, and that's what trading is. Like find a setup, break the trend to the high, break the trend to the high. This time we'll hold on and see how far it can go. There's a little bit of a gap to get filled here to about 27.65. So if it goes another 0.5%. This will be like a 1% mover into this prior high. So that's what I'm looking for on SMCI. We'll see. Jesse Martinez is like, finally, Neil has a good food take. Oh, it's like that. I'm always hating on the food here, I guess. But we don't get the good barbecue. Like, our caterer is not going to ever throw down like a legit barbecue joint. You just can't expect them to be that good. All right, BBAI, everyone seems to continue to talk about it. It's not a bad move. Not a bad move at all on BBAI. It's just... You know what? Actually, this is a good point because a lot of people, and sometimes we do this, lots of people do this as traders. Like they'll say, oh, but that's barely even moving. It's a $4 stock. Here's the reality. And I'll tell you this because this is just absolute truth if you're trying to, because the trader's job is to make money. Like sometimes it might be like, say Intel the last couple of days. Like you risk 50 cents to make $1 to $1.50, right? You're looking for 2, 3 to 1, 2.5 to 1, like that kind of a notion. You take a breakout on BBAI, you could be 390 long. You're risking 4 cents to make 8 to 12. There's no difference between risking 4 pennies to make 8 to 12 and risking 50 cents to make $1 to $1.50. You're still looking at the same risk to reward. Is it moving? Can you execute the trade? Then make the trade. That's why you always look at, like, try to think of it in terms of, well, how far did it move? Don't worry about whether it was $1 or 10 cents. Like, you can just, you guys might not want to mess with that too much over there. Just saying, they're doing some weird things to Sean's PC. Yeah, anyways, it doesn't matter. No, but just back to that point, you just have to understand a move is a move. And as long as you risk reasonably, then you should be fine. I've done it plenty of times where I'll take a mean reversion and a stock that has a 20-cent range. A mean reversion on that makes my entire day. But then, like another moment, actually, I can do this example for real. Like on Boyle, Boyle went halfway on a reversion trade and went like 25 pennies. But it's a $13 stock, and I was only risking like 10. So at the end of the day, like that's still, and it wasn't even that great. Like it didn't follow through all the way. So it's really just about risk to reward on every single trade, for sure. Tastiest is saying SMR is a breakout. Nothing is popping off on my scanner that's going crazy. Like it's all really normal. What's BKNG doing? Booking's a different one. Like it's all the same names, but nothing is doing any kind of velocity that stands out. SMR, yeah, SMR is at the high. Booking is moving. I have no idea why Booking is going. But SMR, chase the high, don't like that. I do like that it's closing and trying to get back above the 50. This is one that badly needs to do that. Show us that you can withstand a pullback, a legitimate pullback, and then break the high. That'd be a good one. Withstand the pullback, have a disaster day, V-shape it, start breaking out some levels. Ultimately, probably needs to get through that 15. But this looks like a continuation play, potentially tomorrow. You know where I was looking was Robinhood. I might like this Robinhood. Yeah, I don't know what was going on over there.
I'm back.
Some stuff happened.
No, it's just we're trying to get the
it's because
the background
piece.
the background screens going.
Right.
Oh, now my display's all. Oh gosh, damn.
Well, that's what. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe Rob needs to still do so. Do you still need to do something with this display over here? No. Oh, it's all mine. Okay. You know when they changed the screen? So now we have 4 screens here, and like I have. If you can get this shot,
I was saying, like,
can you get this side shot over here? Because you'll see that now my main trading screen. Well, you guys have this. See. There.
Yeah.
There's all my stuff. So it all moved up here. So if you see this display thing up here, now you have all of my stuff is up here. So I just got to go doot, 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 and start to bring everything back down again right now. So fun times over here. Here's President Trump, by the way. Hey, Trump, what's going on over there? And there's Joe.
Ooh, like the Red Sox
Joe
hat.
doing well. Oh, yeah, I got to explain the Red Sox hat. Oh, yeah, thank you very much for that. Yeah, so first of all, appreciate the name there. But yeah, this is, I coach a Little League team, of course, and we talk about that all the time, the High Park Little League. And one of the teams, there's only 8 teams. There's Expos, there's not even Jays. There's Expos, there's Orioles, there's Mets. Anyways, I've been lucky enough to be, head coach this year. Last year I was assistant coach, head coach this year, so I'm flexing this hat right there. Opening day on Saturday, and last year we had Jerry Howard throw out the first pitch. We'll see who's going to do
get
it
Yasiel Puig
this year. Yeah, Yasiel Puig. Didn't he sign with Buffalo or something?
No, he signed with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, that played at Christie Pitts or something?
Nobody knows who yet. Well, if you're a real baseball fan, you might know who Yasiel Puig is, but he's like a former MLB guy who I think he went to jail for some fraud nonsense or something. There was some really bad thing that happened, and now he just signed with a semi-pro team in Toronto.
Right, I did see that, yeah.
So I'm joking that he should throw out the first pitch for the Little League. Probably not the guy you want to throw with.
He was amazing, though. Didn't he win Rookie of the Year?
He was ridiculously talented, but you know what?
Just got to get these.
Talent only takes you so far. Like his effort on the field sometimes was.
Yep.
I don't know the guy, but like I watch a lot of baseball. Sometimes you'd wonder what he was doing.
Ivan Kuba.
What are you doing, dude? He was so talented. He had an arm like Bo Jackson. He could run like the wind. He had more power than anybody. He basically was Bo Jackson in a lot of ways. But Bo Jackson was a hard worker. So the other stock I'm looking at is Robinhood for a potential trend break here. That's just from the low, trying to break this trend. And then it's tight to VWAP, so I don't know if I like it. It's not like an A+, it's more like a B. Setup, let's go to Adara. It's almost power hour. Might have found something.
Yeah, just be aware here, guys. Keep an eye on the market. Seeing comments coming through from Fitch, which is, of course, a credit rating agency. They're saying that the widening U.S. deficit and climbing debt are posing key sovereign rating challenges. So some comments again here on the U.S. deficit from Fitch Ratings. Back to you.
They've been saying that for a while.
I mean, I think that's the next leg.
The bond market has not been telling you a kind story. Just look at the yields ain't exactly coming down as much as you would want. The market hasn't cared, but there's only so long the market, like the stock market, doesn't care about the bond market. Like eventually, that's the kind of thing that comes to roost. But
they say all the big money's in the bond market.
If the market's been shrugging off a lot of stuff,
it's
been the war. We shrugged off the war. We shrugged off the AI worries. We basically shrugged off. Well, the Venezuela thing wasn't like all that crazy.
Venezuela. Yeah.
No, I mean, look,
what was that weapon that he used? A discombobulator? I mean, that was a big one there. Why doesn't he use a discombobulator in Iran over there?
Well, I don't know.
Okay. Has Palantir created the discombobulator?
Well, maybe they do.
You guys can look that up. Discombobulator, President Trump. That was a funny.
It was a real thing.
There, it was. Yeah, I believe it still is a real thing. Right in there. Okay.
I don't know what it does, but.
Oh, it discombobulates things. It's like, it's a great tool to use.
If only there was some way to know that that's what it did. Dang it.
Nope, you can't. You can't figure
you have
that
to
one out right now. Okay, we're back. Okay, thank you. And we did not fix that, but we're still staying late. So if you guys are looking for earnings plays or earnings coverage, anyways, tonight is your night once again, as we will have Reddit, SanDisk, WDC, something called Apple. I don't know. Hopefully it's not a sour one as we get going. And Dara, which one other than the main ones? Is there one that maybe RIVN, or what is there something that you're excited about? I know Eli Lilly maybe today was one for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys have to, based on the price of this ticker, Probably not super shocking, I'm going to say SanDisk.
Right.
I'm excited about SanDisk. Also, their report last quarter was a total blowout. That being said, RIVN, in terms of like an infographic perspective, I'm very excited for. I have a fun infographic featuring CEO RJ Scaringe for RIVN that will be coming out right after the report. So please stay tuned if you want to see it live. Again, stay here at Trader TV Live. And again, live earnings updates as well on X at TTV Research.
Sure, and MF Dangerous just said IoT is reporting. I thought we said that was Riot. It's Riot, yeah. On the infographic, because of the way that
Samsara is not that big of a stock.
the way that it looked like it was Riot, but it's not IoT. It's actually Riot. Which, by the way,
I'm all about IoT.
Mara was super strong today. So was Riot. Riot's up 7 points going into the print. I guess it's not that impressive when you look at the daily chart because some things have been beaten up, but you've got a turnaround. Like Bitcoin's back at 76. I guess we couldn't break the 80,000, but that's not the end of the world. Some of these names have managed to recover. We just hit power hour. See, sometimes I see the graphic.
It's power hour. I took a little bit more off there on Meta just because like we've already got that high. We got the high 3 times there on Meta at 618, just sitting there taking it. You're now breaking through. We have 5% left. Meta, let's just see if it breaks to 614. That's where we were initially going to stop out of that one. For somehow, and thanks for the positive comment. I saw some of you saying this about this TQs, man. I mean, I don't know how we have the low of the day other than we just trusted that bottom. We took it a couple times in and then right back up. And here's like a lot of the outs at the 200 period moving average. I'm going to do that all the time. I wonder when I was at the gym right there. And then here's the move back up into 63.40, 63.50. So, in what was pretty horrible start to the day, we were able to definitely battle back and create a good one right now as well. Someone saying that the market's getting to the downside. Yeah. Tesla, though, wow. To pick this one up would have been a dream there before earnings. They're really kind of smoking. They've already been up to $400 on their report. We'll see if they can hold for it here. That's going to be Tesla right now trying to get back through this 282 where we can maybe buy some. Look at it, just respect this 50-period moving average. I mean, this is why, I'm not on here because I know what I'm doing, but these charts right here know what they're doing, and this is the 50-period moving average, just really holding out right there for that play. So that's a nice move right there on Tesla, trying to kick higher right now, breaking through 383, and that's the new high of the day, right? Yeah, so Tesla hasn't even looked back. This was a name that wasn't even beat up. We did get a question earlier about, where are some key levels. We said 70. It kind of breaks through that. It goes down into 68. I still think, I held Amazon $2 plus against me. That was bad. And then that all of a sudden created a movement to the upside there on Tesla. So yeah, looking for it to base out. And like I said, man, learning a lesson every single day. Just got to avoid making the same one mistake twice. And we wrote down on this on our note today that we liked this name right here, Amazon, off of these levels. And so when it came in, we tried it. That's 66, 65 into 63, and then stopped out when we sort of broke through yesterday's sort of malaise right there where we closed. So that was, about a $2 or $3 hit on a decent amount of shares. So we're just recovering now from that, and then made a little bit of money on Amazon, but still, wasn't successful with that name. And then this is where I was just talking to Joe there as they were fixing my situation, and I just said, these are so much better plays, just waiting around for something to actually happen, and then, coming back into view up where it showed that there's been some sort of buy support there. So just being patient and waiting, we wind up taking this for a ride and did pretty well there, needless to say there on Meta. So that's what's been good. And then Marvell was right off the jump. This was basically the same idea that I had in Amazon. Marvell was coming back in. We know this is a super strong stock. We thought with the CapEx spend, there was going to be no problems. You see AMD absolutely ripped up. Why NVIDIA sold off, I still am not super sure about that. But yeah, Marvell came right into yesterday's closing spot, and that's where we just went long. We were going to stop out basically for $1 or $2 on that, but it just kept on going. And then most of our outs here at the pre-market highs. So I'm just trying to, this is not boasting about these trades. I'm just trying to explain to you guys what the difference was. It's almost the same look for Amazon, except for Amazon had earnings. So that's where, you got to think about, the real money's going to come in. And if they want to sell it, they're not going to care about little levels like that. But on a Marvell, comes right back to somewhere where was respected, and it winds up holding. So, we'll try to do better every single day, but I think we've done well today here. I mean, any day where you're, flattish is not a bad day. And, we've been having a good month. And it's, welcome to the end of April. One of the best months, I could just ask Gemini or something, but I think it's one of the best months in NASDAQ history. It probably has to be top 10 as you go from 550 to 667. I mean, you're adding, yeah, I know, eh? You're adding right there $110 onto 550, so you're up 20+%. I mean, the problem is that we don't necessarily trust this to be exact right there, but it's giving me, see, it's only saying 13%. I don't know how that's even right.
But that's obviously 20%.
Hold on, maybe, I know, that's the math that I was trying to at least there. Let's try for another candle. Okay, now it's saying 19%, okay, so we're getting closer. Better. But anyways, I feel like it's been a pretty bang-up month.
Has not been up 20%. Okay, first of all, this is perplexity. I don't have this memorized.
That's fine, so probably right.
Has not been up 20% in a single month in the source I found. The best recently monthly move shown was April 2009, 14%.
What?
That doesn't.
Oh man, it's even better than I thought.
And then if it was a rolling 30-day move, it says the NASDAQ 17.8%. Yeah, but that's literally the end of this month.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, so it says it couldn't verify one, and then said the best it could find was
perplexity.
April 2009. I find that a little bit surprising. You mean to tell me we didn't have a 20% month at all during the recovery from the financial
I'm not trying
crisis?
to tell you that. I just knew that this was a monster month.
Well, you know what?
I was giving it top 10.
Anyways, I should have. I had perplexity up. I use all the different ones. I already had it open, so that's the one that I just typed it into. I suppose I could have used GPT or Gemini. It's not important enough for me to ask again. I'm just going to leave it at that. I just don't believe it. Of course, we must have had a 20% bounce after the financial crisis, right?
I mean, I'm talking NASDAQ.
In a month? There had to have been a month that did that.
It might have been the ES. I mean, financial crisis was a lot of banks.
Yeah, you know what? That's
and damn Randy with these cookies.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad everyone else took some because I wouldn't have stopped at the one. I'm not saying I would have eaten all four. I'm gonna bad.
I mean, what is a
probably would have eaten all four.
Caloric intake on that? 300? I don't know.
On one of those?
I don't.
Well, they're not that big, but I don't know, probably like
oat. I don't think is very.
They're not that bad, but all four of them would have been
all good.
All right, so we're getting a little bit. It's not much. NASDAQ's not carrying, but we're getting a bit of a pullback. This might end up just being, if it's just a scalp into VWAP, like so be it. And then the entirety of this move from top wick to VWAP could be 50 pennies if you can grab 30, 40 of it, and that's all it wants to do, then I'll go with that. But the buyers just started to come back.
The NASDAQ just went again.
I'm saying, like.
First of all, I have, wait a minute. I was like, I have the news in my ear, and I just felt I don't have the news. I was wondering, where did I, hold on, I must have put it over here.
I have it in my ear, and I haven't heard a thing.
Here it is, okay.
But I think it's just all quiet.
No, I was going to say because who knows right now
I haven't
what
heard
the story
any.
is. We just got a little bit of a volume spike, right? That's sort of what interests my attention right there. A little bit of a volume spike. Bless you. It's not a huge volume. I mean, it's not a huge volume spike. So yeah, maybe it was nothing there. Nice move, kicking a little bit higher over there. Okay. Halter right there. MB, Mercedes-Benz. Of course, that's not what it is. Master Beef Group. Yeah, some of these names. Oh, okay. 27,000, so there's nothing going on there. That's not a name. AIOS for a potential runner here. All right, not much going on there. You guys want to talk about, there's a lot of people asking us about Apple earnings. Yeah, I mean, Adara has, if you go over to Trader TV research, there's some pieces there about Apple and the services and all that kind of stuff and some of the revenue expectations and whatnot for Apple. You know, to sit here and try to predict something, I mean, you guys asked us yesterday, we said that Meta would probably move the most. That was right. Microsoft stayed within the range. They all pretty much stayed within the range. Google outpaced it now. This morning, Google
but not by the open.
No, and it went down to 5%, which was about the move. So I would say that I think Apple's going to get real spicy, man. I like the stock, obviously. I mean, we talk about that. Nice bounce off the 200 period. we didn't really test the 50 period. We don't really necessarily have to. I think the implied move there for Apple, Adara has it. I can go find it. Yeah, 4% or so on that one. So we're not expecting a huge move. Here, I'll get it up for you right now. If you go to TTV Research, everything we're talking about, honestly, is right here. There it is right here. So this is the movement that we're expecting here tonight. So where's Apple? 430. Yeah, so 3.5%, I mean, it does that just for fun, it seems like on some days. So, paying attention to Apple could be important here tonight for sure. So we will pay attention to it, and you guys are going to join us live as Neil, myself, Brendan, and Adara will bring you home into all of these earnings. Pretty good one. Riot. We can look at that. That hasn't had a great time with this move down in Bitcoin. RIVN, 9%. We just had a little bit of a talk there with Randy about that.
Back to WDC, man. There's way too much.
Yeah, Western Digital.
There's always so much chatter. It's always SNDK this and Micron that and Western Digital. I'm like, yeah, look at me too, Western Digital. Not that me too. You know what I'm talking about. Not the other one. Still going. How are you eating another cookie, Randy?
Randy's back? How come the minute we weren't even talking, like we didn't even talk about Rivian or anything. I just called it up literally 30 seconds ago? And this guy appears.
You can just eat all of the cookies that are back there. Yep.
Yeah. He might be here a little late. So today we had the building had a power switch over, and of course we have a generator out there. And I saw the security guard this morning. I was like, "What's this guy just standing?"
He's just sitting there guarding the generator.
I didn't know if I had to show. I didn't know if I had to show like some credentials to get into here. And then I guess they're flipping it over tonight at 7 or so, Randy, or when do you think it's going to flip back? 7-ish. Okay, so tonight at 7-ish. And we want to thank Randy and the team here for, making sure that we're still up. We're having some HVAC issues. I mean, we identified that earlier, but so be it. Trump reiterates that Randy has obliterated Iran's nuclear capacity. All right, Randy. Good job there. No, but Operation, what was it called? Midnight Hammer?
No, that's the old one. This one's Epic Fury.
Oh, this one's called Epic Cookie. Okay, Epic Fury. That's funny. You see that Hegseth and all that? They love these names, man. They absolutely love all of these.
You might as well.
Trump was patting himself on the back for picking these names. He was like, I went through a list. There was Operation Werewolf and all these kind of things, and I chose this one, and I think personally that was a great choice. But I love the.
If it was me, I would name them after songs. Just
yeah.
Just it'd be all the music that I like, and I don't care what anyone else thinks. Just your own playlist, and but you gotta have some fun. What's the point of having?
That's what I'm saying.
Let's be real. If you're gonna have that kind of power, you're gonna take advantage of it. Tropic Fury would be good too. Although
Tropic Thunder.
Oh, for the love of it! One of the guys was on a podcast and said that they actually had a reasonable idea for a sequel to that, and I wish they had done it. Because it was one of the funniest movies ever made. The country's doing well despite military operation, don't want to call it a war. Iran dying to make a deal, Iran cannot be nuclear. Okay, well.
Yeah, I mean, I think doesn't feel like it's the same talk over and over again. I mean, it's fine, but it is. I mean, they talked about yesterday or a couple days ago that they were looking into what happens if Trump declares victory. I mean, I feel like we're trying to sort of do that right now in this space. But okay, so just keep going here today. It's obviously been a good one as the NASDAQ right now takes out the day's high and just continues to march, man. I mean, this has been a pretty epic move higher there and an epic fury of a market. Meta, we just took another piece out right there. I'm still long the TQs as we get into the day's high, so nothing wrong with, again, taking out another piece, and we still have a decent amount left of this trade, so this is sort of helping the day go on here. We don't, not a decent amount, but we haven't got much out in the last hour, obviously, so another out here at the day's high. We'll take the low of the day and the high of the day right there in the NASDAQ, so yeah, we're feeling pretty good about those trades for now. But yeah, who knows where this market's going to go at the end of the day. Looks like it wants to go higher. Will Apple be able to hold those levels? We never even talked about the key levels. We got a little distracted over there. But I think, yeah, Apple coming in here, not horrible. I think if you get it back into 260, I think you'd like that. But we only have a 3% expected move, so 3% on here, just a couple bucks back in. So I think, yeah, some sort of a dip opportunity. We wait to see what the story is on the guide, especially if they do talk, and maybe it's going to come on as part of their conference call or something, but you want to really look forward to the talk on the flip phone. Where's the next revenue source coming from for Apple? So
look, man, as long as the services are still growing at an expanding rate,
probably not much of a problem.
I'll be worried about that when there's a contraction in services revenue. That's when, that's the only time you'll see me come into or be after like Apple earnings and just sort of give pause. Oh, okay, so they grew less in services. It's the end of the month, so you're going to see some bigger imbalances than normal. That's just how it is at the end of the month.
You didn't even look at imbalances.
Well, it's only 313. I just popped it up.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
$2 million to buy CDE. What is it? Core mining? That's a big one. Every single day we've seen, for whatever reason, I don't know. We've seen Barrick Gold there every day for exactly 3 million shares. It's there again. But Nike stands out at $2 million to the buy side, and then CDE Core mining, $8.5 million there. Reddit long or short into earnings. Frank. I mean, if it was that simple.
I got to answer that. I would just go schlong.
Schlong?
Yeah.
I remember one time, there was a glitch in the system. And that's where it came from. I was we were beta testing on like the newer version. This is a long, long time ago. And I remember like only a few of us were in it that were at the head office floor, maybe like 4 or 5 traders that day. And so what happened is they got into position in a long, and then when I offered like half of it out, instead of like, if you had 1,000 shares, instead of it going down to 500, it still showed me 1,000 shares long. And then also 500
I remember those
short.
days, yeah.
It didn't last very long, that issue. And that's where the schlong, somebody came up with the joke that that's schlong. So it's an actual thing that doesn't actually happen. But for Reddit, your guess is as good as mine. But I do think, here's what I like about Reddit. If you have a weekly chart up, where's my Ray? I always have this on, yet it's a weird thing about eSignal. I always have to click it again to show my trend lines, and then it doesn't extend like until infinity. Look at the support on the weekly. Since the actual low on Reddit at the very beginning, higher low, it has held the exact same trend line. So even if things are bad, I would suppose wait for it to bounce off this. It's been good every time. But every one of these bounces, fresh high. Bounce, fresh high. Bounce, fresh high. Bounce.
Fresh high?
No.
Oh, okay.
So if it revisits, it's broken that pattern of when it bounces off that support, getting to the high, which would be a little bit bearish. But if it got there today, you'd be talking $125-ish on Reddit. It's not there now, but that's what I'd be looking out for technically. Let's go back to Adara at the desk.
Yeah, just be aware here, guys. President Trump making more comments about Iran. I'm literally saw these headlines back to back. He's saying, I don't know if we need to deal with Iran. And then right after saying, we might need to deal with Iran. So super back and forth here messaging on Iran and a potential deal here from U.S. President Trump. Back to you.
It's clear. We just take that out on Marvell. We'll do this one more time. Money. All right, next. All right, so we'll let's go over and figure out. Oh, Apple Beats ran out of Mac Minis. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that there's that. I mean, as I had mentioned, looking forward to that next sort of idea generator there, and maybe it is, the Macs, and there was a new, cheaper iPhone that they released also this year. So, I mean, I think there was that possibility. And then we did talk about, of course, the likelihood of the Fold and maybe coming into the Fold.
You know what? The Fold doesn't have to be anything special.
No.
It just has to exist.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like I'll give you the example. So my dad, my dad is frugal in almost all forms of life. But if Apple has a new toy, he's getting the new toy.
Right, smart man.
That's just how it is. My my brother might wait a cycle or two. Like he's that side, but no. And then he won't just get it for himself. He'll get, he'll get my mom, and then she has no idea what she's doing using the iPad, but she's got it anyways, and she absolutely enjoys it. So as long as you get the new thing, if people like flip phones or folds, then you do that and you keep them in the services, and that's what it's all about. Quickly, there's a volume spike happening, Robin. I said it might not beat VWAP, but it couldn't beat VWAP, and the market got back to the high. So I elected to just get out at the support level, take what you can get and don't be upset, and now look at this thing, and now it's absolutely rocketing to the upside. Still, SMCI still holding. It's not setting up anything new, but this was about this gap fill in here. So the target's going to be in front of 27.60, and it's like 10 cents away now. So I'm going to get the order out. Might be the last thing till the imbalances come, for sure. But yeah, I think, like, I don't think Apple's going to do a crazy move. I just feel as if Apple will be a nice, boring, and fun ride back to the all-time high. But I think it'll do it in a very boring way, which is absolutely fine by me. And that's what it's been. At no point during the bottoms, I don't think at any point from the recent lows has there been more than a couple of days where we're like, oh, Apple's the one today. Usually it's, yeah, we're talking about AMD one day, and maybe we're talking about or Google. But Apple just slowly climbing and doing its thing. I think it's going to get to those highs for sure. And then remember, once we're done with the conflict in Iran, we get to start thinking about deal with China, right? Like, so the end of the war, it doesn't just mean, hey, good for oil. It's then the refocus on fixing things with China, which could be better for NVIDIA. Maybe that's what NVIDIA is waiting for. I don't know. And certainly that would benefit Apple if you get a deal. So anyways, Apple's also expanding into India. They know what they're doing anyways. They'll be fine regardless. I just think there's more catalysts than just what would happen to oil prices and some of the inputs down the line. And Apple stands to benefit from that as well.
Yesterday, we'll talk about who made money yesterday and who did it. Not a big day here at Real Trading, despite it being Fed yesterday, of course, and a few earnings names. You know, any of us with these kind of numbers here would be very pleased. But these are traders across the board at Real Trading. $8,200. Amex, NASDAQ, New York. What a great day that was. We talked about Canada being, oh, there it is, Blue Ocean. Someone 5,700. Blue Ocean, obviously a good name to have traded. That would probably include the earnings there last night. I'm not sure if Blue Ocean would be the night before or last night in these numbers, but there's Amex again, so probably SPYs, USO, something like that that's traded over there on the NYSE American market. Canada, Amex, NASDAQ, so on and so forth right there. So just a little look at who made, or not who made, we don't know exactly who they are, but this is the upside of the prop firm Real Trading yesterday and who put up what kind of numbers. And of course, Neil and I sitting here using the same software that you would to be using if you went to realtrading.com and signed up today. So go over there if you are interested in a prop firm. You might as well go to the best one, that is Real Trading. Okay, on that note right now, I'm just, happy to be here, to be honest with you. Let's go over Roblox. I'm just not, we've really battled back today. There's reasons why I don't have any hair. It's a very stressful job. I'm just going to chill out. We've really, put a lot of effort into getting back to where we are today, and so I'm pretty happy with it. Roblox tonight should be exciting for sure. We had that implied move of 10+%. We'll see, or roughly. Look where we are, man. We're right at a key level, $52. I mean, that comes all the way back. Let me see that date, April of 25. So that's the tariff tantrum lows right there. You're getting close to it. Many names nowhere near that now, not after the month that we've just had on the NASDAQ. And Roblox, tech name, NASDAQ, should have helped with that this month, but it does not do that at all. If anything, faded out in almost a red month. I mean, there's the lows. So Roblox did go from 52 to 65, so that was a great return, but the last couple of days, right back in. So we'll see what Roblox numbers can put up. They don't do, they used to do the monthly active users, but they don't do that anymore, so hopefully they'll give us some active users right now, and when that number is huge and everybody realizes that, I would say that Roblox is probably a decent shot long. I just, if the numbers turn out to be what they are, which I think they're going to be huge, then we'll see if the market reacts to those numbers, right? So their average revenue per user, probably not huge. I'm not even really sure how they're making money other than collecting those Robux from people, but then they pay them back to the creators, right? Roblox is not something where, like Take-Two, where we wait for, was it November, Adara, I believe, is what we're looking for Grand Theft Auto, I believe was...
it's going to be mid-November 2026. In their last report, they actually maintained that, which is very impressive because usually they push it back.
That's what I was thinking. So into November, so we'll see Take-Two. I only thought about this because we were talking about video games there. This would be a name that I think we could support into that release of Grand Theft Auto, right? I mean, it might be sell the news, buy the rumor, sell the news. So maybe you can take advantage of this heading into mid-November, breaking through the 200. I mean, by November, you can timestamp this. I believe we'll be back up here to 250 to 260 by the time that happens, and then you may sell off the release. But I still like it. They put billions of dollars into it. I guess the risk is that Grand Theft Auto doesn't work, but there's been so much hype for it that I think people will get it anyways.
Yeah, they'll get it.
And even if the game's not the greatest, the supporters of it, I think, will.
I'm not a gamer, but the few friends that I ever see chat in some WhatsApp chats, in one of my fantasy leagues, there's some.
Yeah, I hope so.
In a different fantasy league. But
my 14-year-old is excited.
Super gamers that are they're diehard, and they're like, when it comes out, they'll be happy. Let's just leave it at that.
Fabian says there's rumors there could be some crime in that game.
Uh-oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, then forget it.
Very, very off-brand.
What are they
for GTA? Yeah, Amazon mooning. Yeah. I mean, we love it. Wow. Okay, it just sucks that this is going to be, the #1 loser today, because man, we had these bottoms, and we had it once, twice, thrice, and we made some money back, but it was this loss there early, and we should have just waited, right? That's 9:45. If we just waited 15 minutes, we would have just been. We could have had a record day today, but Amazon, nope, does not help me out that much. And then now there it goes. And yeah, I got stopped out when we broke that low. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and let this happen, obviously. So we get stopped out right there. And then Moon up for Amazon. But hey, man, it's this is not Warren Moon. This is the stock market mooning, and you get a bounce off VWAP there, bounce off VWAP there. There's a reason why I'm a VWAP guy. It's one of the names, Meta here. Meta will now overtake #1 spot, and that was just off VWAP. So a pretty simple trade. Despite everything that happened in the morning, it's just amazing that this was able, for me anyways, to bring me back. And it was just a nice little fade back in, man. I was looking at it. We started to break higher. We had talked about a 600 bottom. That happened today. And then boom, right into there, right into VWAP and upside. So that 600 bottom, again, we started yesterday 670, 680, get into 600. So that's down 10%, and then it bounces. That's why when you guys are asking, I mean, the market's still going higher here. As Apple comes in, maybe tonight, that's where you want to look to see what kind of damage you can put on in this name as well. Because Apple, if it does fall back in, maybe, that's why we say 260, just like 600, a nice even level that we've seen before. So if that does happen, 260 for Apple, I think that would be a buy spot as well. But again, do your own work and assess your own risk tolerances.
I'm convinced of the code name. First of all, love that one. I like that name. Code name Ed.
Yeah.
I'm convinced Microsoft runs an after hours again. Okay, well,
all you need is conviction. That's all you need. That's the #1 thing about trading.
That being said, running in the aftermarket maybe mean overnight.
No, after hours. I think he thinks just, after hours. There really is no overnight anymore. I mean, with Blue Ocean and everything.
I mean, Blue Ocean was what I was going to look at, see what it did. Because I didn't pull this one up for Blue Ocean. I guess it wouldn't be run again because it was down, but it did bounce. Let's see what that 415 on Microsoft. What was that? Yeah. So you know how I just looked up 415? So we're just looking at Blue Ocean in the overnight for Microsoft. 415 was the level that got held on a bounce in the overnight, and look what happened when it lost $415. Sometimes there's key prices that you will see in the Blue Ocean session. So, good luck for it. And, you know what? I would argue that you need something else other than conviction. You need a trade plan. As long as you have a trade and execution plan, then you've got something to build off of, right? Like, what are you looking for? What works for you? Like that kind of a thing. But that's where everything sort of starts. Whoops, I did not mean to go to silver. That was more muscle memory. I went to go to SMCI, which I feel it can't seem to retake that high. The market's busting the top. It's almost 330. The market's busting the high. The reload got to, broke, and then hasn't followed through the high. So I'm just going to, I'm going to trail this. Like this was it's basically been just enough to get back to green today. So if I lose something else, it's going to be on an imbalance play, maybe one of those gold names or the miners that have a big one. And Angelo just asked, what is Blue Ocean? I'll get to the super chat in a second. Blue Ocean is just one of the available overnight markets. So you've got OTC Moon and Blue Ocean. We can execute here at Real Trading. You can execute on either one. Pretty much any stock, just about every single stock. Like I'm on SMCI, I can just pull that one up, and then you can see the overnight session load up. Not a lot of liquidity on SMCI, but if I put up like Tesla, I'm willing to bet you there'd be a ton of liquidity. And Tesla, it's going to look just like normal Tesla, but it's just the overnight session, right? So there it moves. You can trade it. We have traders here, real trading that traded. We have STK trader, hold SLV long overnight. You're still in it from yesterday. I always think the trend is your friend, and I'm not. Like, I turned bullish on it today from bearish because it looked like, you know, you got the pullback. Every one of the pullbacks had a bit of a turn, but you pulled back into a prior support level, and then we started the bounce. You got the, it's not a rounded face, but wipe out low, and then you just started holding this prior day close. So it dipped, held the, I guess it's the Tuesday close, not yesterday's, held that, and then got to the high. So I think it's a bit of a trend break, but if it loses that area there, then you're back to the downtrend. It's a start for SLV. Ultimately, it never really broke through to fill in the gap. That'll be a 67 break tomorrow, but I'll sit down tomorrow looking for that. Like, I'm gonna come in tomorrow looking long on SLV. It doesn't mean that that's what I'll find, but that's what I'm looking for. Let's go back to the desk.
Just be aware here, President Trump still talking right now, just talking about his dream golf pairings that he'd like to see, and also saying that, quote, we'll see how long Iran holds out. I want to talk here about Northrop Grumman, NOC. Nothing massive here, but as you can see, this did spike lower, right now trying to recover. Breaking Defense reports that the Air Force is seeking to scrap its E-11 BACN fleet. So I looked into this BACN situation. This is Battlefield Airborne Communications nodes. Apparently, Northrop Grumman has actually developed BACN pods that can actually be used to mount it to other aircraft. So they're very involved in this BACN space. Again, Air Force reportedly scrapping its E-11 BACN fleet. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Dara here. I was just going to tweet out some stuff going on here. But okay, so there it is, man. Meta again. Let's go, man. We do have a little bit of diamond's hands sometimes. And there it is right there, 618. Trump saying he does not care if Powell stays. So, all right, 618 right there coming into play for Meta. So we take that again. Man, that's 4 outs at the high of the day there for META. The market is pulling back in. Maybe it's time to exit just a little bit more of this position. We'll offer 55s. We get it right there. Another high take right in there. And we're running out of bullets here for Marvell, but Marvell's been a good one as well. This could be something that we tweet out. We should also tweet out our Amazon trade and discuss how that one went sour, but there's Marvell, lows into highs right now. And again, we found Marvell just because of strength, right? Obviously, it's a name that I watch and I own, and we talk, oh, you know what we didn't look at? Talk about a stock that we own. Palantir, this one, man, trying to get lighter in that is for sure. You love Scotch? I'm not really a drinker. All right, so that's Palantir, nice move there, up into 140 coming through. I'll take like, over Scotch on the rocks or something, I would just take a nice beer, to be honest with you, on the patio somewhere. All right, so that's Palantir. Look, I'm just nervous about Anthropic. I heard Dan Ives, there was a piece a couple days ago from him saying that these guys have a clear path into the next $1 trillion company. Now, I don't even know what... I guess I have to read about it to find out exactly where that path is, because I feel like Anthropic is standing directly in that path right now for them, and especially potentially getting some government approvals. I think they cleared the way for some Anthropic there the other day. All right, bid, ask, days range. I'm looking for market cap. Oh, geez. Well, Mr. Dan Ives, you must be long Palantir yourself, because the market cap on this one is just 330. So you're thinking triple from here? All right, so Palantir up to $350. Yes, sir. That would be real nice, and that would be good if that were to happen. So we'll see if Dan Ives is right about that call. Their clear path, apparently. Palantir earnings in just 4 days. Choo-choo, all aboard. Anybody interested in Palantir? Yeah, 4 days from now. Yeah, Monday, May the 4th. So we had, what was the one that was the May the 5th? It was something that
BBAI.
BBAI. Oh, wow. Okay, wow. We have Palantir and BBAI. How the hell am I going to sleep during those nights? But no, kidding aside, we've taken off a lot of our Palantir. I'm actually I was going to look through, after we file the taxes, was going to look through the portfolio and figure out which stocks I actually own and don't own. Okay.
Don't be a Don Quixote. Thank you, David. Or Captain Ahab, like me chasing SNDK moves. It never works, but rolling dice on a 30% move outside of the apply. Oh, so you're not a 30% move. Wow. You just want 30% more than the expect. What was the expected?
I think it was 10, right? 10 or 12 there.
13, 15. That's doable. Yeah, I mean, it can easily move that much. I'm trying to remember what was I'm trying to remember what Micron was down their last earnings report, because that had great report, and they ended up in the other direction. But SNDK, I can't imagine it won't be double digits. But again, you probably need it to be 13 to 15 if that's what you're looking for. Look how much this has moved just in the last week.
Yeah, SNDK is a monster, that's for sure. I wrote down so when me and Joe made our picks, SNDK 1039. Like, it's not even, I just picked it because I was like, okay, SNDK, you know, like, what the hell? But I don't own any SNDK in my own account. It's already up it's at $80 there, 8% from when we made that call over there. Joe made a great call, though. He's got Amazon and Google, so shout out to Joe right now with those calls. Those are strong ones for sure. And I have Meta the other way around. So Meta not good, so we'll have to wait to see where SanDisk goes tonight. 4.5% right now. It's not even at the highs, SNDK. So as the market, there's still more room to go. Wow, we are now $23 or so in the money, as right now Meta just at the highs again. Like, we have a good trade there coming through. Amazon just keeps on motoring, and glad we have this one in the old portfolio, man. That is for sure. Amazon rocking. We own all these mega cap names. Is Starbucks pulling back a bit today? SBUX, yeah, 105. So another great report from Starbucks we saw. I shouldn't say another great report. It was a great report from Starbucks. They've been having a little bit of a rough ride, but there it goes. Breaking through that $100 mark was pretty key right into here. So as we've seen many names sort of get off of these levels, let's see what's next for Starbucks. Hopefully to the upside right there. And if Starbucks was based on what the consumption in my house, Starbucks would be mooning right now. 106 and change right there for Starbucks, one of the highs. I still think you would want to sell it near this high. Remember, this is just not a name. The reason why STX and WDC, SanDisk, AMD, Intel, all these names just keep on running is because they're creating things that are in very, very high demand. And you can't get enough of them. That's why you hear the CapEx keeps getting extended out, because the price of RAM and memory and hard drives, storage in general, keeps getting higher. So if you booked 125 CapEx for this year, prices have gone up 50, 60, 70% in these components. So you have to adjust your CapEx spend to build out the same thing you were going to do 6 months ago is now probably 20 or 30% more just from the parts alone, which is why, you know, I'm liking a name like Marvell because we've talked about this at $70. I gave the bull case for Marvell. I don't even know why I didn't pick that one in the account, but we do have Marvell up 100%. But the idea with Marvell is that we kept on saying, remember the brains of the operation are those chips. So that's the NVIDIA side of it. That's the AMD. That's the Intel. It's putting it all together, right? Is Marvell. So these guys hooking it up, and you can see there, it's a nice move. The 52-week high and all-time high in and around that 170. A good report from Apple tonight, or SanDisk. This thing rips as well. So maybe not as much as Apple, but if SanDisk can hold it. We also had we had WDC tonight, I think it was too. Yep. So you know, if the component story continues to be a story, then I think Marvell continues to work. Also the custom ASICs, we heard about some of that from Google and whatnot, helping out Marvell and Broadcom. So
yeah, Broadcom was at one point super strong today. I don't know if it still is. I hit enter. It should not be on Nike anymore. Yeah, Broadcom 2.5%. But by the way, Nike, this is weird. So it's now on my radar. See what just happened? The market's at the highs. Nike was cruising along, having a fantastic afternoon, and just did a right-hand turn. That's with a pretty decent-sized buy imbalance. 2.3 million early look buy on Nike, and it's not tanking, but it's having a bit of a moment pulling back. So this could create an opportunity. I want to see if it gets close to 350. As we get closer to 350, if it's at a decent level, like maybe the morning open area, which would be 44.35. In a perfect world, maybe you're down here at 44.20, and then put it on with 10 minutes to go, and just take if it comes out as a bid. That's the idea. To try to get it long. A guy from work in the chat just said, maybe I missed it, but have you guys ever commented on the state of the market? Do you think this exuberance is irrational? To the extent that the amount of money that has been created and has to chase goods is irrational, then that, if that's the definition of rational, then yes. But that is the world that we are living in right now. There is a ridiculous amount. All we've done is print. And now you're chasing goods. It's like, where are you going to go? And even if you think if you think that this is going to lead to the war is going to lead to recession, like where do you think the growth is going to be? Like where are you hiding? A lot of times that's going to end up being tech anyways, because that's where the growth is going to be. If you have an economic downturn, then you better hope it's AI that's going to pull us through it, because where else is the growth going to come from? So it's just like all roads sort of lead to that. That's how the market ends up working. And every single bull market is quote unquote, but this is irrational. Why is it like this? That's what a bull market is. It's being up when it doesn't make sense that you should be up. That's what makes it a bull market. If it was the other way around, then we wouldn't be talking about how buy and hold works all the time. A guy from work, do we keep chasing? Don't get left behind. I don't think there's anything about this that hasn't given you dips. Like this market, we've had dips. You look for individual names that give you value. Like look at Microsoft today. Or look at Meta today. Microsoft dipped into the 50-period moving average. You like that stock? There you go. Meta dipped. It actually lost the 50-period moving average. You like that? Oh, you like an energy stock? You think they'll go back up? Like look at the dip that just happened in some of the energy names. Like look at like an ExxonMobil. I'm just giving you examples of things that have done pullbacks if the market's not doing. There's individual names. There's a pullback. There's it trying to break trends. So the travel names look like this. I could pull up CCL, and I haven't looked at it since this morning, but that dipped and started a right-hand turn. Like there's lots of, ooh, that's spicy. Now I just caught myself looking at that. And keep an eye on CCL. I always say with these, trade them, don't own them. That's my take on travel names. I never want to own them, but it's perfectly happy if you can get some kind of a break and a swing. And I like the fact that this is setting up for a potential breakout. Better if the war would end, but beggars can't be choosers. But there's always something dipping that's good. That's how uptrends work. There's always something that's giving you a dip buy.
Yeah, Uber, you could buy pretty cheap right now. It's $340. We do have those imbalances coming out again. And those of you asking, you only get New York names early or Amex names. So, at 350, they'll all fill in on the NASDAQ. So that's only 10 minutes away right now. With the end of the month here, definitely could be a possibility for something to show up here significant. So we'll see if anyone's going to be pounding into something here at the end of the day. Adara, did Pulte or anybody say anything today? Because Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac today, good bounce off of $7, up 6%.
I haven't seen anything. I was on Ackman's Twitter earlier today, too, to see his reaction to his IPO.
Yeah.
He made some funny comments. I want to see if he made them on X, which he didn't. But, Ackman and Pulte, as you said, two people who would be talking about Fannie Mae. I have not seen comments from either. I'm going to be real with you.
Yeah, all good. I think now that I thought about it, Pershing Square, right? He's in a spotlight right now. So
there was the mortgage print at 12. Could be related to that.
Okay. So $5 right there. And wow. There's so much more, smarter people, better looks than what I'm looking at, because this just came right into $5. Like this was a level from February of last year, January, right into there, came right back, and it's going from 450 now up to 850 in just a month. So we talked about what the NASDAQ's been doing. Fannie Mae also, and Freddie Mac, nice upside there. And, Trump has talked about it. And if you go back to where Fannie Mae was pre-Donald Trump, $1.50, he came through, spiked this thing up to $16, $17. Your boy Bill Ackman most likely gets out there somewhere around here. Now the move falls back in right into the lap of buyers at 450. And there we go. Huge move there, back up to the upside for Fannie and Freddie as we go. So that's another good move right there for Fannie Mae.
Missed an IPO today. And it was good. I didn't see the tap. I don't really know what it was looking like going into it, but Avalon, the reason I wasn't interested was a pharma one. I feel like we've been looking for things in nuclear, drone, or something along a theme that we're in love with. So this didn't really fall into that category, but it was super clean, right off the open, right away. Do we have another super chat? Is that what I heard? Oh yeah, it's Sharif was on it. I know for sure, but I'm not slapping the fail on nobody covering it. Sharif was on it. I'm slapping on the fail on not looking at it myself. But I guess it doesn't really make a difference. You have rules, and we always talk about being rule-based traders. It wasn't necessarily in the right space, and it was only 350 million in terms of like notional value that was out there. It was like a bajillion SPACs today. I don't know what is going on with those.
By the way, there's Beyond Meat right now. Finally, there is a chicken dinner winner. As it breaks. Yeah, broke above a buck. It broke above a buck earlier. We were looking at this thing at 90 cents earlier today, and I was like, you know what? This is when we were looking at it. It was bouncing off of this area, and we were sort of talking about the 200 period. If you joined us earlier at around, 10 o'clock, or when did this spike happen? Yeah, it looks like around 10 o'clock. All the volume started to pick up there as the U.S. government says, hey, man, we're looking into some protein as well, and, some food-based products that we could provide to the, I think it was Army there, Navy, whatever, Department, correct, Army. Okay, thank you, Adara. So Army, and there it goes, man, $1.02 right now for Beyond Meat. So, a good possibility here to do something in the after hours would be Beyond Meat. So definitely worth looking at if you are interested in trading some after hour names. This one could get going, especially if something is announced. We do like a little bit of Beyond Meat right here. Not a bad look for that right now. So there it is. Big size, though, on the offer. So watch out for that, as we do have some offer pressure right there on BYND. So holding out that maybe something happens there for Beyond Meat in the after hours. Some people talking about it there in the chat.
Such an odd headline, though.
It does seem weird.
Because I can't wrap my head around why, if it's the U.S. Army, why they'd be concerned about anything other than what is the cheapest way to get protein, and not, like, they wouldn't care whether it's plant-based. It's like, is it cheap or not? And to my understanding, I don't see how that would be true at this point. But maybe it is. That would be an
interesting thing to think about.
Yeah, and if Beyond Meat's at the point where they could, that would be gigantic if you could win something like that. That would change the company overnight, you would think, right? Because that's recurring revenue. For usually government contract like that, you're probably talking about a decade, right? So, man, it's super intriguing. I just can't wrap my head around why they would win that deal. 5 minutes to go till the imbalances, sort of looking around if there's anything that's looking crazy. There's still just that CDE. There's a couple of miners, Barrick and CDE are both like mining companies. And then Nike, we already showed you. I got that one up. It's already starting to bounce. I don't know that it dropped far enough to my liking to just automatically take it, but we'll see. Lyndon Meyer saying lots of people, even in the military, went vegetarian. That many? I don't even know what percentage of the population is vegetarian. I just cannot imagine that would be a leading reason as to why they would do it.
No, I think just protein is important.
Yeah, it's about the amount of protein and the amount of calories per dollar, and you probably just win it that way.
Well, to store meat and all that and cook it and transfer and all that, obviously you can use protein shakes and stuff like that. So I think they're probably just trying to figure out the best and cheapest way to get that done. That is for sure. So, yeah, look.
For Beyond Meat's sake, I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's great for them.
Yeah, everybody that's trading Beyond Meat, good luck, and hoping that gives you profits beyond your wildest dreams. Okay, that's that, man. We are doing earnings tonight, yes. So everybody join us late. Stay late with us. We're here till at least 4:30 as we wait for the biggest and the baddest of them all to come through. Apple will be here tonight, so it is an apple of my eye and hopefully of yours as well, and we'll look to see what Apple wants to do. I'm excited for Reddit. That's a name that I'm thinking about getting into myself. So Reddit, we'll see what they wind up doing. Apple going to go out at the highs. The market's pretty much at the highs as well. So not too much of a surprise there as Apple holding fort right now, 274.75. It's been a good run, right? It's been a great month. We talked about how this month has been for the market. Record NASDAQ month. And there it goes. Upside for Apple, 1.5%. WDC, this name was pennies on the dollar if you're considering where it is now. I don't even want to show you. This is what I was saying about how it's retirement level money. If you had done anything with Western Digital a year ago, this was $32. So you're at least 10x right now. We'll see if Western Digital can hold form right now and continue to blast higher. SNDK, another one that's been an absolute smoke show. We aren't going to tell you guys that. It's going to go out at the highs of the day as they dare people to short them into earnings. And SNDK is another one of those retirement names. In April, this was 30. Okay, I mean, if I really cherry pick and go back to April 3rd, $26 right there. And actually, eSignal will show me what the 52-week low is, and we won't have that. That way we don't have to cherry pick it too much. Here it is, 52-week high today, $1,103. There's our 52-week low, $32.50. $32.50 all the way to $11.14. Man, to put in 10 grand last year at anything around there, and I'll see you on the beach. That is for sure. So SNDK minting millionaires this year, and congratulations if you are one of them, as I'm sure probably some people in the chat are. So congratulations on that one. It just shows, man, you know, the stock market, if you can get it right and you get some of the names, it is a wealth creator and a generational wealth creator. Just got to get it right. So, all right, man, that's what we're doing here. Things are starting to fall back in a little bit with 1 minute to go until the imbalances.
Yeah, Tesla pulled back pretty heavily going into their imbalance. Well, going into the imbalances. I don't know if it's going to have one. Intel seems to be dropping. Like Tesla just fell $4. Maybe they know something. But remember, if it's a NASDAQ name, then you have no idea what it's going to come out as. Maybe they're buys, maybe they're sells. Still all the same names. Verizon popped up. Now it's 3.7 million to the buy side. That tends to be nothing. XOM was not there before. That's now 2 million to the buy side. There's nothing incredibly large expected. I believe the next big one is, outside of it being the end of the month, CCL is supposed to be an upweight on Monday, I believe. That is like an expected buy. But there is window dressing at the end of every single month. So these numbers are likely to be bigger than normal. Again, can't predict how they're going to be, but the first one, once we see them come out there, my guess is you're going to be some chip names that show up there. I wouldn't be surprised if NVIDIA is near the top of the list on the imbalances. But here they come in nowish. Apple, 7 million buy. LFL Fest, 7.3 million to the buy side. CAN, that's a penny stock, who cares? Per, no idea what that is. Must be some kind of a cat thing, 4 million. XOM, that's a nothing burger. Microsoft's buy of 1.6 million. NVIDIA, 1.4, not that big, but paired 16 million. So already paired most of that off on NVIDIA. 1.4 million to buy there. You've got Snap's not a big deal. That's only 1.2. Netflix is a sell, 1.1 million. That's the only big sell that I see was Netflix.
Yeah, just worth noting, guys, I think this is the only time I remember in my 2.5 years doing these nightly imbalances that I've ever seen 1 billion across the indices. You've got 1.8 bill buy on the market, 1.1 billion buy on the NASDAQ, 1 billion buy on the Dow, 1.5 billion buy on the Mag 7. Only time I've ever seen that, all four here with at least $1 billion imbalances. Also, President Trump just finished talking.
Okay, yeah, I mean, absolutely monster. Look what this did to Apple, right? Just shot that to the moon right there. Apple 275. I mean, we were just talking about liking what Apple was putting down. We get out of Marvell, we get out of Meta. I just entered all this. So as soon as it came out, we let it sort of settle for a couple seconds and then get out. So yeah, we're out now of Meta, and the only thing we have left are the Qs, and we'll just see if it wants to get a little bit higher, and then we can punch out of that one. So yeah, just waiting for the Qs, and we'll see what happens. But other than that, man, it's been a good one here today. Join us tonight on this exact stream as we will be going over, me and Neil will be flipping it over in just a couple minutes to Adara and to Brendo. And then now we'll go over all of the earnings for you tonight, which is actually quite a nice...
pretty good list.
Yeah, quite a nice list there tonight. There's Microsoft with 1.3 million as well. That's up to 410 right there as that keeps on going. Wow. Netflix with a little bit of a sell here today. Let's see what's going. Okay, there's Netflix, 93. We just talked about maybe buying that at $94, or sorry, at $90 the other day. Now it's 94, so that's a good one there as well. SoFi, right to 16. So maybe we didn't get an opportunity to trade that today through 16. Maybe tomorrow we'll see what happens with SoFi in and around those levels. So yeah, the open imbalances good, as Adara said, net in the market, but you can see the market's actually coming back down. So regardless of what those imbalances are, market $1.8 billion buy. Is that what that looks like right now? Not to me.
It doesn't look like they're not treating it like it's a buy. And remember, just because there is an imbalance in one direction of a significant size, it doesn't mean the stock or the indice has to move in that direction. You can use it to your advantage, but if you just sit there and punch long because there's a buy imbalance on whatever stock, it could be even like the overall market, that's just not how it works. Sometimes it does. Like I can show you this random penny stock that's in here. Well, if you're fast enough to a punch long, I don't know, I have no idea what this thing is, but it has like millions to the buy side, and right away that popped up. Was that the first thing I looked at? No, because I don't know what the heck CAN is. Like I was waiting for Nike to do something. And LFST. Like this thing is 5 million buy, it's a $7 stock, like that popped a little bit. So yeah, you could have punched long there. The algos probably beat you to it, if we're being real about it. That was reacting to them after the fact is probably something you used to be able to do a little bit more effectively, maybe 10 years ago or something like that. But now, you really do have to try to be a bit of a sniper. That's why the reverse, when 355 hits and some of these would pair off, tends to be a reasonable opportunity. So just going back to the most interesting name, wow, Apple already gave it all up. I was about to say, well, if Apple was at the highs with that buy imbalance, you get to 355, you look for the reverse trade, and Apple's already pulled back. Well, I guess it did it before 355, which again, that's just it's a time at which you usually see a lot of pairing on imbalances. It doesn't mean that's when it's going to curl. This curled way faster and sooner than I would have expected. Apple's now really selling off going into the close. Well, from buy imbalance to now lower than where it was at 350, but we're going to find out at 420 how things are for Apple. I'm not going to hit the key because it's time.
And plus it's 4:30 also anyways.
It's 4:30.
Yeah, so all good there.
Yeah.
But just quickly here, man, we have the low of the day on the TQs, and we're proud enough to say we pretty much have the highs right there. There it is right there. Boom, boom, pow. All the way to the upside right there. We can check out what Meta's. We were out of everything. Okay, Meta went down, so that was a good out. We just hit off or enter. So kind of lucky to get out right there. There could be a switch up very, very soon. So get ready to see potentially the market switching right now on those imbalances. They tend to do that at 315. Apple's not even there anymore as all of the orders come through, and we'll just wait to see what winds up happening now to Meta and to Apple. You said Apple was selling off because, again, remember when we looked at this the first time, it was really 7 million shares to buy. Now it's 3 million shares to sell. So this is, I mean, we really hope that all of you are here, obviously, for how handsome Neil is and Joe and all that. But at the end of the day, hopefully you've learned a little bit about what happens at 350. I mean, when you look over at some of these moves, you could really see that this is something that you don't want to get caught in here as a trader, because out of nowhere, right, your longs are cooking, and then boom, you're like, yeah, we got a buy imbalance, and then boom, it just turns into a sell, and you can see the pressure on this, right? If anything, you could learn something as maybe an options trader. Take advantage of this. I mean, tonight is earnings, so you don't want to do that, but you could take advantage of this. Like, this is down $7 right there out of nowhere. The biggest move of the day happening. There's nothing that Apple can do about it because there are some sellers coming in. Look at NVIDIA even, right? That was starting to cruise. Now we're going to break through $200 again. It was 202 a half hour ago. What's up, Adara?
Keep an eye here in Meta, guys. META on watch. Business Insider reporting that the company is telling staff not to rule out further layoffs. So again, META indicating there could be further layoffs as reported by Business Insider. Back to you.
I don't want to see anyone lose their job, but your shareholders, that's fine by me, right? Like trimming, I don't see that as being necessarily a bad thing. Like that's what you're doing. Like you're trying to cut costs. Look at how well that's worked out for Intel. Like Intel got, if you was one thing about
what is Intel right now?
Is Lip-Bu is, he was like, let's bring down costs and let's get more slim, and whether he had any influence in getting the government and NVIDIA to invest in them, I have no idea. But you give him some credit, right? Like he has to be doing something right because they're doing fantastically. So yeah, they might be doing it. And usually you'd think it's good, but right now it is selling. But I guess overall we were sort of coming off of some highs and pulling back in. But forget about them. It's going to be all about Apple. Apple's still falling on that flip, right? Like if you're married to 350, you could have just punched short at 355. I thought it had already moved down. It went down 250.
Yeah.
from 353 to 355, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like that, the reverse has already happened. And then it goes even bigger. Someone saying CoreWeave is getting crushed. That had a really good day today. You don't want to see these things give up too much at the end of the day. My goodness. Well, never mind. At one point, it had a really good move off the bottom. That's now at low of day for CoreWeave. Yuck. The NASDAQ's closing at the highs. If you were a tech stock closing at the low today, something ain't right.
No, yeah.
Something ain't right. I'm going to write down.
Amazing that Amazon battled back. Oh.
Yeah, well, I'm literally just going to write down CoreWeave with an S next to it, and then we'll see what happens tomorrow morning. Maybe there's a trade, maybe there isn't. But like if you're market high of the day, you're at the lows, that kind of speaks volumes. And of course, the iPad just corrected CoreWeave to Cray for some reason.
All right, thank you, everybody. We're going to go back over to the desk. We got to flip around. You're not going to lose us. We're going to be right back in roughly a minute and a half. Brendan and Adair will sort of tee up these earnings for you just in a matter of time. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Fabian and everybody, they're staying late with us. Andre, thanks for a good job day today. Obviously, my guy Joe over there as well as Sharif. Ramin's here. Bless you, Ramin. Right there. Thanks to Dara for everything. But we're going to talk to them in just a minute. How about now?
Hey, there we are. Welcome to what is going to be. I was just looking through the list. I mean, yesterday was busy, but I feel like today is, if not as busy, maybe even busier than what we went through yesterday. So we got to keep an eye out here as well, because there's going to be some potentially coming right through at 4 o'clock. If you're wondering, markets right across the board, very, very green. Tech leads, as the guys have been talking about all afternoon right now. NASDAQ 0.9, I lied, 1% right now for the S&P. I was just reading best month for the S&P in 5 years.
Wow.
10.5%. You got to go back to 2020. I was just looking on a monthly chart here. 2020 was 12.5%. I'll find that month again, but 12.5%. Here, let's do it now, because why not? We have nothing else. April of 2020, 12.5%, 10.5% so far on this month.
I mean,
Crazy.
to be fair, Intel alone was up like 100% this month, Brendan. So certainly helping the index, that's for sure. I mean, I know President Trump credited the White House's investment, but I think you also have to give Lit Bhutan and those earnings credit as well. Right at 4, Brendan, we're going to be getting Rivian, Amgen, RIOT. I apologize, some of the timing on this infographic is off. So these first 3 are going to be at 4, everything else at 4:05 other than Apple. So you get Rivian, Amgen, RIOT 4, First Solar to Roku 4:05, Apple 4:30. So you're going to get a 25-minute break before Apple, where we can kind of digest a lot of these other earnings reports, which is great because, as Brendan mentioned, heavy hitting. I'm already seeing reports coming through. But again, Reddit, SanDisk, First Solar, and Rivian, Roblox, some of the many names on watch today.
All right, we'll keep an eye out for some of those ones you're mentioning at 4 o'clock here. Just feel free to interrupt me if you do see any of those. The Reddit crew is going to be all over this, obviously, as we get some of these numbers coming through. Going to be about the user base, going to be about growth potentially whatsoever. For Reddit, it's more or less taken a back seat, it kind of feels like. You know, since the IPO, we really haven't talked about it, I don't feel like, on the show in the past little while. Rivian deliveries we'll watch for, forecasts we'll watch for, costs galore we'll watch for Rivian as well. But then we'll all kind of put our feet up and wait for 25 minutes or so, as you were mentioning, until Apple decides to report earnings, which is going to be the headliner for the night. Guys, thoughts here for Reddit, I guess, and Rivian to kick things off.
Well, for Rivian, hey, the bar's not that high. You just have to lose less money than you've usually been losing. And never mind. And remember that South Park theme? And it's all gone. So Rivian just tanked only about 3 or 4%. I mean, it was up that much going into the session, but it just went down to the 16th level. But it isn't just like the South Park. I'm like, well, they just don't lose as much as you did before on every single vehicle. We already know they lose money. Every vehicle they make. So it's not like the bar is especially high here, but there is a bit of a bounce happening. It did get down to $16. You're seeing it back at about 16.4. I'm not actually seeing the numbers on them or Reddit yet, but clearly it's already moving. I don't think this is the case of a fat finger like the other day that we had on a few names. This seems like they're probably out and initially to the downside, but not that big. This is much less than I think the expected move. And then Reddit as well does not really. There might be some fat fingers on Reddit. That looks like it's somebody just buying early, although we've seen that story before.
Yeah, we still wait for SNDK to come out. That's not hitting anything right now.
I think Riot's out though.
Yeah, I
do
saw
have those numbers.
Yeah. Okay, let's go over to Dare for Riot.
Yeah, let's talk about Riot here. I was kind of waiting to see if I had Rivian, but total revenue here barely up on a year-over-year basis for RIOT, 167.2 million versus 161.4 million. This quarter last year produced 1,473 Bitcoin. So it's actually a decline year over year. So producing less Bitcoin than they did last year. Average cost to mine Bitcoin going up by roughly $1,000 on a year-over-year basis. Kind of a mixed report here. First quarter data center revenue, 33.2 million here. So yeah, I mean, not a bad report here for RIOT. Kind of run of the mill. I'm still looking for Rivian, guys. I'm not seeing any. Okay, just got the Rivian numbers. Production here for Rivian. I'll just go so you guys can see this. 10,236 vehicles, just above estimates of, or sorry, below estimates here of 10,300 vehicles. So slightly less vehicles than expected, Brendan. Cash and cash equivalents also below estimates. Revenue, 1.38 billion versus 1.36 billion expected, losing 33 cents per share. Adjusted EBITDA a little bit better than expected.
Yeah, the production number not great, but the reaction actually not that great either. AMZN, it's interesting, was out there right at 4 o'clock as well. Huge move down, right back to the upside right now for AMZN. I mean, Rivian not really doing much on this so far.
Not doing much, but looking at that beat from Western Digital, maybe it's just not a big enough beat. The problem here is you know what these stocks have done and where they're going, like where they're coming from has been like rather parabolic and spectacular. Like they're all ridiculous, these memory names. And with SanDisk on tap here, to have a reversal like they did on a beat, like it's right back to where it started, although it's now catching a bit of a bid. I'd be concerned because if it's one thing when we had, Meta and Microsoft and Amazon do the whole dipsy-do last night, well, none of their charts look like the memory chip names. If these guys beat and they still end up red, well, that's a whole different ballgame because of how much they run. You can see WC getting some pressure underneath it. So I don't wonder what that's going to mean for SNDK. Of course, they could just have an even bigger beat than that. It was a decent EPS beat, but the revenue there on WDC was very slight of a beat, just a couple of points.
SNDK getting hit on that as well. There you have more.
Yeah, I have WDC here. So their guidance is actually really solid for Q4. Q4 adjusted EPS 310 to 340 versus 273 expected. Sales guidance also well above estimates here for Q4 2026. I guess they're ahead here in the fiscal calendar. 3.55 bill to 3.75 bill versus estimates of 3.46 billion. Now, as Neil mentioned here, for the quarter that we just ended here, Q3, adjusted EPS healthy beat here, $2.72 per share versus 239 expected. Sales 3.337 bill versus 3.245 bill expected.
No pressure for SNDK right now. Just looking at a couple more things, jumping around here all over the place, but just going back to Rivian real quick, guys. The forecast for production specifically, 62,000 to 67,000, in line with expectations. So again, the number was 10,365 delivered. The estimate, 10,279. They're still forecasting for the entire year, though, 62 to 67,000. So overall, this is positive. I mean, the stock is trying to go green and actually just has, but I mean, there's no reaction here yet.
No, I mean, you're looking here at the revenue up 11% year over year. That's probably something expected. EPS down 33 cents as we see Rivian right now trying to get back up to 16.50. R2 sales of production have started. First deliveries have been made to employees. So that's something that we're looking for there on Rivian. You can see on the daily chart there, trying to hold out hope at that $16 mark where the 50-period moving average is. There goes Rivian. Nice little tick higher. They're into 16.80. So I think they like it right now. The forward guide is something to talk about, as Brendan just mentioned there. So we'll see deliveries a little bit better than expected there. SNDK, let me just quickly.
I got it.
Go.
Uno reverse card.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, there it is. Yep.
SNDK here, 97% year-over-year growth in Q3 revenue. I'm not joking.
100%
all the way
growth.
up to $5.95 billion. Their GAAP net income
that's
coming in at $3.6 billion, which implies $23.03 per share. So massive EPS here. Data center revenue up a whopping 233% year over year. Non-GAAP diluted net income per share coming in, again, I mentioned here, $23.41. So massive move here. Q4 revenue guide between $7.75 billion to $8.25 billion. And I mean, I talked about these massive numbers, but let's actually look at them versus estimates because it's insane. Q3 adjusted EPS here, guys, $23.41 as mentioned, but Brendan, we were looking for $14.43, so cool $9 per share beat. Sales, $5.95 billion, again, up nearly 100% year over year, and above estimates of $4.684 billion.
A mild 3% right now. Sean, you just said buy it?
I think so. I mean, we've seen so many of these names get hit to the downside and then make their way back up. So, yeah, the numbers are good here, but it's going lower. Watch out for that $1,000 mark right now on SNDK as we continue to go lower here on the number. But I think we buy this right now, and you just wait to see if there is a move back higher. But conference call going to be interesting here for SNDK. I mean, when you're reporting numbers like that, you don't expect this kind of a move. But there we go, man.
What do you think of the call? Just point at the damn numbers, man. 78% gross margins.
I mean,
guys, I don't want to interrupt. We just got Roblox as well. Just got crushed.
Oh yeah, okay. I can do Roblox first. I have Reddit too, which is also dropping, but we'll do Roblox first because that's much more dramatic. RVLK. Oh, it's making me go to that link. So we'll just do Reddit. Actually, no, I have Roblox here too. So losses here, 35 cents per share, better than the expected. 41 cents per share here. So slight beat here in EPS. Bookings 1.73 billion, eking out a very slight beat versus 1.72 billion.
Oh, look at
expected.
SNDK.
Average daily active users 132 million. Below estimates of 141 million. At fiscal 2026 guidance, way below estimates for Roblox. They're guiding revenue between 5.87 and 6.14 billion, well below estimates of $8.13 billion. So massive miss for Roblox. I'll go over Reddit quickly if you guys don't mind.
Go for it.
Because RDDT just flopping around here. Revenue up 69% year over year to $663 million. Daily active uniques up 17% year over year. Net income of $204 million. You've got adjusted EBIT $266 million, up 131% year over year. Lots of triple-digit gains, guys, for this entire evening. Ad revenue up 74% year over year. Other revenue up 15% year over year. Gross margin above their 90.5% gross margin last year. 91.5 this year, guys, for RDDT.
Just seeing comments here from Roblox as well. Roblox Reality, sharing details on Roblox Reality. A project blending hyperscale multiplayer gaming with photorealism and intends to roll out further improvements for age-appropriate access. So more comments on Roblox there, but Reddit's starting to get going.
Did anybody buy SanDisk right there when Brendan came over to me and said, buy it? Okay, now you're up to $1,035. So you're starting to get back up to the upside. We just said we could hold that $1,000 mark. That's exactly what happened. So there you go. Merry Christmas. But that's a hard trade to make, that's for sure. Yeah, that Roblox is an interesting one. That's for sure. I'm sorry I can't. I have to do a little bit of different stuff over here with the charting. But there's Roblox 42.50, coming into some good levels there on the daily chart, as you can see near the lows there. 52 period moving average. We'll see if Roblox can wind up holding this. I mean, we're well below that $50 marker on the daily chart there. So Roblox continues to make new lows, but I like that. Changing up their business model a little bit. Let's see if Roblox can continue to.
They got to try something.
They got to do something. They got to continue to battle here, as they also have I don't know if it's DOJ, but they have some problems there that they were getting looked into about some of their junior. Oh, Twilio.
Yeah, Twilio, I mean, massive beat. I apologize. This wasn't even on my radar for tonight, but Q1 adjusted EPS 150, above estimates of 127. Sales 1.406 billion versus 1.342 billion expected. Guiding Q2 2026. Adjusted earnings between 250 and 260 per share. Brendan, the estimate here was 129. So just doubling estimates casually here for TWLO. Guiding sales between 1.42 and 1.43 billion, well above estimates of 1.39 billion. I also just got guidance for Reddit as well, so I want to mention that to you guys here too. Guiding Q2 revenue between 715 and 725 million. Low end of that just above estimates of 714.3 million. Also, Twilio raising its fiscal 2026 guidance. It just got more from TWLO. They're raising that fiscal 26 guidance to 5.78 billion to 5.83 billion. Again, that's going to be beating estimates here of 5.691 billion. Very hard to find anything bad here about TWLO. Palo Alto Networks on watch, no earnings. They're going to be acquiring a company called Portkey to secure the rise of AI agents.
Yeah, I just saw that. It's not really doing anything on that, but yeah, I don't know what that is. Portkey. I mean,
the one we wanted to buy was Reddit.
negative. Now, I mean, mostly
Well,
positive.
I'm loving Reddit here.
Yeah,
Remember we
wanted
showed
to
that.
buy Reddit.
Remember we showed the chart of Reddit. If you look at the weekly chart on Reddit, from the actual IPO, it has the same trend bottom, and we just bounced off of it a few weeks ago. And every single time it has bounced off that low, it has made a new all-time high. Maybe this sounds like it could be the first step towards that. So, I like it's only up 6%. It's not like it's up a ridiculous amount, but given how I can only chuckle, given the reaction to SNDK's earnings, is that you'll take it. Be up 6%. If you're just not getting punished for having a good quarter, I think that stands up. But I like the daily chart here. It looks fantastic. It's good to see an actual good name, a good report get rewarded here. But I'm still blown away. The SNDK numbers. Remember, you have to compare their beats to Western Digital barely beat.
Right.
So SNDK just said, hold my beer. We're talking 97. I'm just calling it 100%, right? We'll just call it 100% revenue growth and doubling it up. And apparently that's not good enough. In the context of comparables, they shellacked WDC here. So let's see what happens overnight. For now, it's holding that $1,000 level. Remember when last quarter, when Micron blew everybody's minds with their numbers, they pulled back 30% from the highs. And then a few weeks after that, you were talking about Micron back to all-time highs.
Yeah.
So sometimes something parabolic just needs to calm down for a bit, and then the dip buyers will come in en masse, and then it goes back to normal.
A couple more comments here, guys, or details, anyways, for Rivian. Rivian saying they've boosted their initial capacity of their Georgia plant by 50% to 200,000 units. That's not bad. While maintaining its full-year guidance for vehicle deliveries. Again, we mentioned that 62 to 67,000. Adjusted EBITDA loss $1.80 to $1.8 to 2.1 billion on the year. Ramin, why are you running away?
Ramin had to fix
I want to be on camera. My mic is having issues.
Guy's mic over here. Well, Rivian has been going up and down there today. So I think although we talk about that quarter for Rivian, it's just not moving at all. So I think that if you do believe in the R2 as a possible, sort of move higher, the reason why it could be that the catalyst is the word I'm looking for, then I think you buy Rivian. And they've already talked about delivering it into the employees. Over 10,000 units sold for Rivian, the R1S and the R1T. So Rivian looks like it wants to go a little higher, I would say, 1650. We'll see if it can hold out for him on that one. But it's SNDK, I guess. I don't know, Adara, when this conference call is, but you're right back into $1,000 again now for SNDK. I'm assuming 5,530. And we wait to see what Apple's going to come out with, as many of you are joining us for that. Apple had a nice little move up and down. We saw at the end of the day with that sell imbalance there. Apple 430, yeah, Darren.
4:30 conference call for SanDisk.
Ooh, 4:30 conference call, okay. Almost going opposite, right, was Western Digital. We started off with a big move there on WDC, as we can see, and that name continues to make a little bit of a move down there. So both these major names, we talked about being priced for perfection. Potentially that's what's been happening there. Huge run up, as you can see on the daily chart, over to $450. Now coming back into 410. So a nice little move back down here for WDC. The most impressive one, I guess, so far is just going to be Reddit. And people saying that that's an easy one. Yeah, maybe it's an easy one. Daily active users, 127 million versus 121. But here comes Reddit pulling right back in. So easy come is easy go right now for RDDT.
It's not always easy.
We got one more here. Team, TEAM, popping huge.
Honestly, this name was mostly just on my mind because SanDisk just kicked them out of the NASDAQ, guys. But TEAM, very brief tenure in the NASDAQ, and beating EPS and sales estimate here, guys. 32% year-over-year revenue growth. You've got EPS here, 80% year-over-year growth. Cloud up 29% year-over-year. Data center, Brendan, up 44% year-over-year. Maybe, the NASDAQ feeling badly about kicking them out. No, I'm joking, but great look here for TEAM. What a bounce. Trump still talking about Iran also. Just so you guys know.
Just so everyone knows, Trump's still talking about Iran.
Yep.
What is that? 25% we're looking at right now for Team.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is like all these names, we just talked about the run that SanDisk and Western Digital have had, and Teams had to run the other way, right? They've been getting absolutely crushed. So if you can come up with something that maybe beats expectations, you get to the upside. Atlassian right there, part of the IGV crushing.
You need a different scale for these. If a stock has been cut in half multiple times, then it comes with an asterisk when it has a 20% day. It's not the same thing. It's going to take more for it to go, but it's the start of something. The crush, because I guess you don't have to beat by much here for Atlassian. I'm still dumbfounded with SNDK. Maybe it was due, but Roblox is attempting to catch a bit of a bid here. Some of these more beaten up names, and obviously, look, 20% down. There's no sugarcoating it for Roblox. It's been beaten up for a while. Its chart's not dissimilar from some of the other software type names out there, whether it's gaming software. It's not looking good for them at all, but it is catching a bit. It bounced exactly off of $40. Like, you get SNDK meets a round number at 1,000, and then Roblox holding 40. So I think you know exactly where to look for if this is going to have some kind of a bounce. Not at all roses for them. I think the bar was pretty low for Roblox, and they still managed not to climb it. I mean, and look, the guidance was a beat too. Like, the full year guidance for Roblox was a beat. It just doesn't seem to matter here.
We're actually missing. I mean, unless I heard about Roku. Yeah, okay, yeah, Roku. I mean, here it goes, man. $130. So good call out there. EPS 57 versus 32, man. Platform revenue up 28% year over year. You got something more, Darren, on this one?
So yeah, again, EPS and sales beat, as Sean mentioned here. EPS massive beat here, 57 cents versus 31 expected, raising their fiscal 2026 guidance from 5.5 bill to 5.353 bill. Either way here, slightly above estimates of 5.07 bill. Kind of a superficial raise, but either way here, the street likes it. Slight beat here for Q2 sales guidance, 1.295 billion versus estimates of 1.285 billion expected. Platform revenue, as Sean mentioned, up 28% year over year. Adjusted EBITDA up a whopping 165% year over year, guys.
This is that stock we always talk about after the fact on earnings day. Like no one seems to really care about Roku other than when it beats on earnings. According to this platform that I just looked at, Roku has beat the last 8 quarters in a row. That seems like a bit of a surprise to me.
Who knew? What's a surprise to me too? I mean, it is true. Like, you're not gonna sit there and have every single name be something that you're in love with. Like, I'll be the first person to admit that the Roku's never been on my radar. And from a trading aspect, we always look at it the day after because it's strong and it can be making breakouts. But when was the last time when this was at the bottom, someone said, hey, look at the chart of Roku. We should be pulling it up and we should be liking it. But it is a squeezable type of name when it gets going. Like, you have to put that into perspective. It no longer has a decent short float. I think it's single digits now on the short float, but it still has that kind of momentum behind it every now and then. And I see rightfully in the chat, I just wanted to point out, there's a lot of mention about what is happening to some of these ancillary names out there. Like, CRM is moving upside in a little bit of sympathy. That's doing pretty good. ServiceNow is popping. So some of the software names are catching a bit of a bid here. We've already seen some decent bounces. Unfortunately, it hasn't been in SNDK and certainly not in Roblox, but getting some sympathy moves through CRM. CRM was in the red most of the day. It's now green and going to end, well, it looks like it's trying to end in some of these highs. So yeah, good support across some of the other software names that are getting a sympathy buy.
I didn't really see too much to worry about as Randy's here again. What the hell? RIVN, I was going to say, again, seems to be holding. If you check out that daily chart, which is now on the left of the screen, good hold, like around 15, 16 bucks right there. Nothing in the report that I see that's going to be too much of a concern. So I'm actually excited here for RIVN as we see it hold pretty well here. Currently trading 1650, 1660. RIVN looks like it's going to be one that we can now maybe start to nibble in on, because despite the earnings coming out, you're not getting much movement. I think there's enough to go forward with RIVN. We saw Ford get hit a little bit. We saw GM get hit. RIVN not. So, the market must like something here. RIVN we'll see tomorrow. Not huge volume, did 26 million shares today, but it looks like it's pretty steady Eddie right now, as a lot of the steam has come off of that name. But we'll wait to see if RIVN can get back over that $20 mark again one more time. And we got to 22 just back there in late December. I'm looking for RIVN right now. Good quarter, good report, and holding steady there. RIVN, one of the names that might be under the radar right now for today's report.
The calm before the storm, maybe 10 minutes to go here until we get Apple, guys. If you're just joining or sticking around, remember. 430 for.
I was going to say, I wonder how much of a storm it's going to be. I mean, Apple's the most covered.
Potentially nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the most covered. We're excited for it. I think it's going to be a good report. I think it's going to be interesting to look at. But it's the most covered name in the universe. They have the most analysts covering that name. It's in the most ETFs.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're going to nail this expectation. The insiders know exactly what to expect.
It'll move a point or two.
Yeah, so the expected move is 3.5%. Apple going out near all-time highs as it is already. So here's the chart of Apple. We had a great day today. Despite getting, as you can see at the last little bit there of the day, we did have an up and down movement on Apple. That's for sure. Goes up there on a 7 million buy and then right back down in again for AAPL. But the all-time highs there, 290. I don't think we get to that today, but hopefully we just hold for it and we don't get back below that 260, 255 area. That would be disastrous. If you get like an 8% move or something like that, that would be double the expectation. That means there is something wrong with Apple. We'll see if it can hold out today around that 260 mark, worst case scenario.
I heard you guys talking earlier, but it's really throwing me.
Yeah.
Your Boston. Dara, educate
I like
us.
Boston.
Educate us here.
Great. Boston's a great city, by the way.
On Apple.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So Apple, pretty significant revenue beat last quarter,
Fenway.
143.75. $6 billion, well above estimates of $138 billion. They also had a healthy EPS beat. We know their China sales were markedly above estimates. I think that was the major thing that propelled this company last quarter. They did say that memory prices are going to be impacting Q2 more than they impacted Q1. So this is their Q2, Brendan. So memory price impact could be something to watch here, guys. Either way here, EPS estimate 192 and revenue estimate here $109 billion. And this is going to be one of Tim Cook's last reports. So he's going to be saying peace out to Apple pretty soon as well. I'm getting some word here from AWS. Apparently their Amazon Q developer in the AWS management console is going to be unaffected by their Amazon Q developer sunset. So again, changing some things here for AWS development. I also want to mention here, RJ Scaringe and RIVN. Here's their earnings. Yes, I already made a little infographic for you guys. You can find it on XTV Research. But Brendan, what's interesting here, automotive revenue down 2% year over year for our car company. Services revenue up nearly 50%. Like this really struck me.
We were talking about that the last quarter. I remember that services number popping up and nobody seemed to really understand what the hell that was. But I mean, they're obviously selling some sort of software package or something.
Use your picture there on the infographic again. It was funny. A couple years ago, Brendan was RJ there for Halloween. There it is. So been a good look.
Check it out on XTV Research.
Yeah, exactly. Been a good look over there. I want to shout out to everybody on TikTok. I just saw Larry's mobile device there with the super chat. Thank you to Bravely as well for handling that side of things, and thank you to everybody that's watching us on TikTok. And those were kind words. Larry's mobile device there said he wouldn't know what he would do trading without the show. So thank you for watching on TikTok as we continue to expand our reach over there as well. And everybody continue to supporting it. Oh, wow, man. SNDK. Oh my gosh, there it goes, man. SNDK there. We said buy that dip down to $1,000. You got a couple opportunities, about 4 or 5 of them over the last 5 or 6 minutes there, I guess, since they came out. Nice move higher there in the last 15 minutes as SNDK looking right now to take out 1040. So it's just 4% move there. No, sorry, not 4%, less than 4%. We have $40 on 1,000. I mean, it's just so misleading how much this name can possibly move. The spread right now, as you can see, over $1 right now on the spread, but it's trying to make its way back up. All I think that happened with SNDK is rich money got richer on that one. They probably sold this thing off only to buy it at the bottom there as we get right back up as people panic sell.
Profit-taking.
Yeah, it's a little bit of profit taking. This name, I'm willing to bet is above $1,100 tomorrow at 9:30.
I would be more worried about Western Digital because it's got this similar move and it bounced off the lows,
Randy?
but you can't ignore the comparables. And it was very clear that like SNDK blew it out of the water, and Western Digital was like, it was all right, but it wasn't anything crazy. Right now, they just seem to be following each other. I don't know that that's going to be the case. So I'm wondering, for those that are asking in the chat, I see a few people saying, when is Apple? We're expecting Apple at 4:30. Whether or not we get a massive move, who knows? But when Adair mentioned this is when they're going to talk about the impact of higher costs this quarter, I was going to focus on the services number, but let's have a look at margins too. Those are going to matter. Forget about the top and the bottom with Apple. Forget about the revenue growth. You want to see it by sector. I want to see services. I want to see the margins. And in the call, let's get an update on the flip, just to make sure you get it out there. If people like it, then keep them in the ecosystem or drag a few back.
Like, what else are they going to do at this point? Like, it's getting to that point. I see a couple people mentioning this one in the chat as well. ZETA just came across. Someone was saying this is their next Palantir. So nice beat, anyways, from what I see. Not a red number. The EPS, revenue, guidance, all to the upside for ZETA. Growth accelerates 50%, beats and raises right across the board.
Yeah, I have more here, and a lot of those software guys on X are also posting about this, like the guys who are pumping Palantir and the like, so good thing to note here. Zeta Holdings here, 396 million here in revenue versus 370 million estimate. They're raising, as Brendan mentioned, guidance for fiscal 2026. That sales guidance going up to 1.779 billion to 1.792 billion. That's going to be above estimates of 1.757 billion dollars here. Zeta, yeah, again, double beat here for Zeta. I don't have too much more info other than that. Their super scaled customers went up by 19% year over year. Free cash flow here up on a year over year basis. EBITDA up year over year. EPS really narrow beat, 13 cents versus 12 cents expected. But other than that, as Brendan said, no red numbers. President Trump going after ABC, so just be aware here for Disney, potentially.
The last time I heard something was the next Palantir. It dropped by half. Well, and that was shout out to SoFi.
Yeah, but that's like, I don't know too much about Zeta, but they're like they're an AI marketing.
Yeah, and
company.
Palantir's and SoFi's a bank. So
Yeah,
stop coming after the king with these.
But it's not about that. It's just like comparable should be comparable, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think people actually meant that too seriously.
Well, maybe not. I don't know.
SNDK grabbing some wings now, man. There it is. It was just at 1040. I said, watch out for 11. Now you're at 1063 as there it goes, man. I'm glad Brendan came over when it was down to $1,000 there, and we talked about potentially buying that up. Risky business doing that in the pre or post market. We'll see what happens on SNDK. Darren mentioned conference call coming there at 4:30, so that should move it around. Checks watch. We are now 2 minutes away, guys, from AAPL. So I'll call it up here. Just have a quick look. It's 272.30 right now as Apple's just dancing around. We'll see what winds up happening. Up and down movement here in the after hours. Gets down to 270.50 there. I'm probably on SNDK and WDC worries, but whatever, man. Apple's its own beast. We're not worried about a CapEx number. I'm actually excited to hear if they do talk a little bit about Siri and what that engine's going to look like moving forward with the large language model. How are they going to improve Siri? How are they going to get more service revenue coming through? Will there be potentially something where, hey, for $10 a month, you can attach Perplexity, you can attach Gemini, you can go with Anthropic, whatever, Claude, whatever you're thinking about, potentially Apple comes up with something there. And guess what? People will pay whatever the hell they ask. So watch out for Apple here on a potential service number that could be huge. And then the guide forward, what does that look like? Are they going to talk about the Fold? Are they going to talk about some sort of a flip phone? And are they going to release more Mac Minis? I mean, those things have been hot fire.
Yeah, the demand has definitely been there. So just a minute or two to go. I'm not expecting a big move. I don't think you'll get a gigantic one. This is not going to be an SNDK moment, but with 3.5% expected here, it would be, I don't want to say disaster. It wouldn't be good for the markets if the guys without the capital spend got shellacked downside more than their move. I can live with it if Meta did what Meta did. I don't think I would be very happy or pleased with what it meant for the market if Apple were to have 5 to 10% to the downside.
Yeah.
Like that's a more scary thing for me than what happened to Meta last night. I don't think it's going to happen. But.
No, I think Apple's a buy and hold name anyways, but we'll have to wait to see what's going on here with Apple, and I think we're moments away. So as soon as it crosses the board here, we'll see 273 right now for Apple as we get really excited. I was kind of checking. There's not too much movements on Meta.
Should be right here, guys.
Or anything right here. Okay, here we go.
Spamming my refresh button.
Same.
It's down to 270. It just bounced $2.
First move down. There it is. Go ahead.
Apple.
Yeah, let's go over here. Their most timely company ever to report earnings always. So thank you to Apple. Company posting quarterly revenue up $111.2 billion. I showed you guys estimates of 109 billion. So it looks like we did beat estimates. Up 17% year over year. Diluted earnings per share $2.01 also a beat versus what I was seeing. It's also up 22% year over year. Apparently this is their best ever March quarter, so good look there. Over $28 billion in operating cash flow. New March quarter records for both operating cash flow and EPS, according to the company's CEO. They declared a cash dividend of 27 cents per share. That's going to be up 4% here, guys. Let me go through the rest of this report for more details. But yeah, products revenue up year over year, services revenue up year over year. Again, products here, cost of sales, let's go to more earnings and revenue. Okay, by region, guys, America's revenue up year over year, Europe up year over year, China up year over year. Guys, up year over year for China. That's awesome. Again, 2 quarters in a row, 20.5 billion versus 16 billion last year, Brendan. And so far, year to date, 46 billion in China revenue versus 34 billion last year. Again, good look for China, for Apple. Japan up year over year, rest of Asia up year over year. So every single region, we get a year over year improvement for revenue.
As we were saying, a big yawn moment for the market at this point. I mean, we're down a little bit.
They only missed an iPhone revenue. They only missed an iPhone revenue.
One small miss. Okay, you can live with that.
Yeah, we were expecting 3%. We might get 1%.
1% move. You know what? I'll take that. Like you saw what happened to Amazon. You don't necessarily want those fireworks with the more stable stock. You want it to not move. That's fine. I said in the afternoon show, I'm like, you know what? Apple can be the most boring stock in the world right back to all-time highs. I have no problem with that. I don't need it to do Google-type moves. You don't need it.
So what is the buyback right now? Because they got another 100 billion.
27. Oh, sorry, that's dividend.
How much was it? No, it's more. I think they're already a couple $100 billion.
Oh, they announced an additional 100 billion.
Yeah. So I mean, they don't know what to do with their cash. They're giving it back to stock. I mean, that's something that you want to look for. Apple is a perennial buyback of shares. So what happens is if they're going to buy back 100 billion in 100 billion. Like they're literally buying back companies.
You know why you can do that?
Well, because
you ain't dropping a bunch of money on CapEx.
Well, yeah, and then so what they're doing is they're taking shares away from the market, making them more scarce, right? And so there goes Apple. Here it comes right back up now into 271.50 again. We'll see what winds up happening. Remember, notable, Tim Cook, the demand was off the charts for the iPhone. There's just less flexibility in the supply chain and getting more parts. So that's part of the problem with the iPhone revenue is the fact that Sharif actually said a story there where I believe it was his mother was trying to get one of the new iPhones and he had to buy it at Best Buy. By the time he got to the store, it was sold already. So, and then, so that's part of the problem. Flying off the shelves. MacBook sales, new MacBook Neo, $500 model, absolutely hot fire as well. They're looking at that. A $500 new MacBook, looking at kids and students. So I think that's going to be huge as well. Looking at Google's Chromebook and pointing right at them with that one. The Google Chromebooks, man, they're hot. In our school, like every kid has a Chromebook. So, hey, man, if they switch those over to Macs, then what's going to happen, man? Probably more private schools, maybe Max, but right now we'll see what Adair's got. I think Brendan said.
Yeah, so we have Tim Cook, as I find he usually does. He does an interview like right as the earnings release to kind of explain away anything that looks bad, which is usually iPhone sales. And in this case, Brendan, it is iPhone sales. So he basically told Reuters that the iPhone sales apparently slightly missed estimates due to supply constraints. He said that the supply constraints include those of advanced node chips. But again, the MacBook Neo, as Sean mentioned, driving Mac sales above estimate. So yeah, I mean, iPhone sales missing estimates due to supply constraints, according to Tim Cook, who again loves that post-earnings Reuters interview to kind of explain things away. We'll have to see if John Turnus does this.
Wow.
Yeah, if anybody wants to read that, I just threw that up on
going higher right now
screen just to get those comments. But yeah, I mean, we're still trying to get higher.
It's green.
Just on that Turnus information here it is right here. Apple's incoming CEO, John Turnus, takes over from Tim Cook in September. The iPhone 17 family and MacBook Neo were both spearheaded by Turnus. So there you go. So things that have sort of sparked growth for Apple has been spearheaded by new CEO coming through. So there we go. I mean,
when you're replacing a CEO, this is not a Lululemon situation. It wasn't an Intel situation. This is one where it's like, okay, well, we just want somebody that will continue along a good path, a positive path. And that's what you got. It's already back into green here. So once again, there's nothing wrong with boring, because boring just means that you do what you always do and you head back up. And the one miss is not really a miss. You didn't miss if it was just demand concerns when you have a product which is, it just gets pushed down the line, right? Like nobody that didn't get their iPhone isn't still going to get an iPhone, right? Like that's still where you're at. So it's not, in my books, it's not really a miss.
With the market at all-time highs, I mean, this is exactly what you want to see. You want to see the market holding at all-time highs and then continuing to.
Dividend increase as well. Dividend up to 27 cents per share.
Yeah. Guys, I hate to cut this short, but I know Randy's pacing aggressively in the hallway because they have to unplug everything again and then plug it back into the building. So they're doing a big power switch over here tonight. So
that's okay. I mean, Randy's had about 14 cookies, so
we'll be nice to Randy and we'll be nice to the guys here, and we'll wrap this up. We'll be back tomorrow, but
floating high on sugar.
I mean, I think a successful earnings night overall. I mean, even most of the ones that were red to start things off, back to positive, even to
except for Roblox
heading into tomorrow. Yeah, Roblox. Definitely separate from that. But, I mean, Apple, a bit of a non-event here as far as the price action is concerned, but decent report for all of them. Thank you, Ms. Adara, as always, for great coverage and tons of information. Guys, as well, great day, great show, great
we're just here.
Afternoon. We'll catch everybody tomorrow morning. Yeah. Join us at 8 o'clock. See you then.
See you guys.
Cooking makes your